and dive in here. It is currently on session 118. Turdas Bill, the night of the 28th of Rain's Hand, and the Forsaken Winds have infiltrated Skullhouse Demir and Cliffshade, navigated their way through the dangers, challenges, and rituals of its cellar, and then finally found their way to a very well-hidden sub-basement chamber. Telpyr and Roulette were, however, immediately imprisoned within a mirror by a phantom reflection, a strange experimental creature through some abyssal ritual of the vampiric House Demir. Then the invisible creature started assaulting the rest of your party. However, Telpyr and Roulette, searching around within this strange, ethereal demi-plane within the mirror, found a form of a mirror in an archway, and Telpyrian first to interact with it, shoving a burning hand through a staff of golden flame into it. It exploded and cracked the mirror, which expelled the prisoners held within the mirror, of which there were 8 or 9, Telpyr and Roulette, and the mirror's 2 guards, vampiric thralls, that immediately hopped out of the mirror ready for combat, waiting there.
Oh, this is clusterfuck.
Additionally, the phantom reflection itself, no longer completely invisible and undetectable, seems to collapse to the ground momentarily before getting itself upright, and it looks at its horrible physical flesh like a fractured kaleidoscope of dark shards and a giant jagged crack running through its chest that leaks bright white light, and it just looks down at itself and then just is ready to go feral. But for now, it is Jiri's turn first.
Oh boy.
Cheers.
I do not have access to my D&D Beyond because it logged me out for some reason. So I will have to roll normally.
That's fine.
Should be fine for now.
I log back into that too for some reason.
Yeah, I must have like booted everybody. Can't remember what my account was. I'll just blast this dude with some air bursts.
Which dude, the phantom reflection off in the corner?
Yeah, this guy right here.
Perfect. You
Wait.
are welcome to go ahead and roll.
Ooh, what's my
Just roll
modifier?
20. Hit your-
Oh god. Let me look back. Hopefully I rolled an attack recently. Sorry guys.
Yeah.
Be sorry, my dice aren't even ready.
That'd be plus 11 because my sword is plus 12. Okay.
Uh, 26 absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. I guess, and that's only one of the bursts.
Yeah, that guys might have a chance.
It'd be a D12 plus my wisdom. No, my charisma modifier, right? Oh, no, D10. So 9 plus 6, 15 damage?
On that first one, and he was cursed by you previously? Or
Ooh,
no, that's
so
just your charisma. I was asking, but that was just your charisma is the +6. But had you cursed him? I honestly don't recall. You would have had to, in theory, curse him through visual of the mirror, which I don't quite remember if we handled that or not.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So then that 15, however, as you... Oh, holy shit, Xerneas. As you release this blast, you see shrapnel fly from the creature and scatter across, and the hole in its chest is just gaping large now. This thing has vulnerability to both force and bludgeoning damage in this form. So that was a healthy 30 points of damage.
Nice.
Severian says, what damage?
Roll again. 24.
Definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage
3 plus 6, 9.
for another 18. Got it.
And my third blasty,
Holy shit.
natty 20. So I'll roll 2d10s.
Holy crap.
And 8 plus 6, 14.
For another
Here goes
28.
back on the menu tonight, boys.
This thing is just like it's looking less and less corporeal as you blast off shards of jagged dark glass from its form and its skin. It's just like white energy holding it all together within, and you have heavily wounded the creature, and definitely bloodied, the
And
equivalent of bloodied.
Decanter blast him. Bonus
Okay,
action.
strength save, which it does not have a good one.
One could be huge here.
And it did not send the thing. I clicked it one more time. Something going on with D&D Beyond for sure. All right, I'm gonna roll it personally.
Hey, use a big D20.
Oh, I could do that. Oh, I think it's finally coming through.
Ooh, sucker.
Minus
I get bonus damage of that.
minus an additional 2 for -1 on its strength save.
Lovely.
It will go prone and take not 3 but 6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god. The most my decanter has ever done.
Amazing. You have fully fucked up that
okay.
creature, and you can tell it is fearing for its life.
That's it.
Okay. It is the top of initiative. You can tell, Telperion, that this creature that looks different from when you saw it sneak up behind you from visual reflection in the mirror, it's trying to right itself and get up, but you have the opportunity to make a tactician change first.
I'm gonna fuck that thing up, and I'm gonna go after Jerry, or I'll go before Toby.
Before Toby, snapping all the way up, seizing your moment to strike after having just been expelled from the mirror with a dozen other individuals, including Roulette right to the side of you as well.
Oh, hey, girl.
But as you prepare and lock on quickly to that creature, it will spend half its movement to right itself. And then it will move one space closer and then use its feral strikes. I need Roulette and Kellen to make a dexterity saving throw.
I've got Kellen here. He has a
Kick-ass.
+4.
Dodge that glass.
So Kellen will roll a 19 plus 4 is 23.
Oh, I didn't show my notes yet.
Both are a success. Roulette barely so, taking only half as much slashing damage, so 8 slashing damage to each of you, as the creature just sprints through this collection of people, and you immediately see 2 of these commoners slain, as Roulette and Kellen take some minor damage. Then this creature will use the remaining bit of its movement to continue fleeing, hopping down and trying to run away. Telperion, it is your turn.
Let's not allow him to do that. How far is he?
He is over here.
Fabulous. Can I strafe and reach him like that pink outline just showed? I have a speed of 30.
No, I'd say this is actually, you could get around there. I'd say it would cost 10 feet of movement to get to this space, but then the rest is fairly free. And then this space as well would be extra movement.
My movement speed right now is 30. I'm just going to fly. So I'm going to look around, take in my surroundings and say, well, I'm not going to fuck with this. And I'm going to start hovering and do a real sweet fly over and slash from the air with Kiramar. And I'll make this first slash have moon. Oh, my familiar's dead. This first slash will be a moon flame blade.
Okay, go ahead and move your token to the space you're attacking from, and then it just will sort of retreat, throwing its arms up in front of its face as you near it.
Fabulous. All right. A regular D20, 13.
13 will actually not hit. So it just holds its thing, and then it just jumps back at the last second, and you just swing just shy of it.
All right. Another swing for another attack. That was my cantrip. 19.
Will hit.
All right. So I'm gonna side strike this. So I'm gonna add. So this is a D12 plus 8. D12 plus 8. Rerolled still. Okay. Oh, okay. 11, 12, 13 plus 8 is 19. No, 13 plus 8 is 21. Yeah. 13 plus 8 is
21 total force damage, yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which you will see it just connect with this, and a spray of shrapnel explode from the creature, exposing more of its ethereal white form as it takes 42 damage from that strike. And getting that strike and nearly dismantling what's left of its corporeal form, it will use its reaction to move. And it will flee rapidly into this corridor and functionally off screen.
Or did I fly to get here?
That is a good question. So 30. So you've got a solid 30 more.
Can I pursue it 30 feet?
You can absolutely pursue it 30 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Will not quite close the distance with its 40-foot movement speed. So as you dive into that corridor, you can see where that corridor just, there's a tunnel, and it only continues about 30 feet forward, and then it looks like it opens up into some sort of vertical space. You can see brickwork ascending up and down on the other side, like 20 feet out from the lip of this door. But the creature is about 10 feet in front of you still.
Can I use my object interaction to grab a sliver and hurl it as my third attack?
Absolutely. Go ahead and throw it.
Get him, Dad.
25. 25 to hit. Actually, it's 26 to hit.
Absolutely. hits.
And I think I do 5. I do 6-ish slashing damage. I gotta check.
6 total slashing.
Hang on. Because my slivers are. Hey, my boon with Moira hurts this, so it's a d6 plus 4. So 6 slashing damage total, yeah.
With an exact 6 damage, you see your sliver just go through the creature, and it just disintegrates into glass that clatters to the ground, and an ethereal wisp of white smoke and light just evaporates into nothingness. Your sliver does continue forward and hits the wall further than you intended to throw it, and then it clangs against the wall and then just drops. To clang. About 2 seconds later, you hear it hit something hard at the bottom. But that's about 20, 30 feet in front of you still.
Looking back, can I see anybody in the room?
I would say this statue is going to heavily obscure this person probably has 3/4 cover, and then off to the side you can see your friends Toby and Kinsalo, but very limited vision.
I'll just think at Toby. Got it. Be right back.
Fair enough.
And that's my turn.
Toby, you are up.
I am going to use my bonus action to sprout my wings. And seeing how messed up Kellen is, I'm going to fly up 5 feet and fly above Kellen, likely procking an opportunity attack if this thrall tries to swing at me.
The Spectre is also hovering directly above Kellen, so I'd advise picking a different spot there. That's fair game. Yep.
I'll do that.
So flying there and moving, yes, this thrall will try to slash at you, absolutely. Can't do that with a reaction, so it will just do this.
23,
23
and so...
And instead of dealing damage, it will choose to grapple you as a target.
Hit by an
which
opportunity
normally you
attack,
can.
and I will do my mislead.
Okay.
To leave behind it an illusory version of myself that he thinks he's grappling.
Okay, great. So he grabs you, slashes you, but then it just like disintegrates in his hand, and he's like holding this illusory duplicate, and now he knows it's an illusion, but then looks around for where you are.
And I am
You
gonna
are invisible.
look up mislead because I'm gonna use an action. I'm wondering if it's gonna get rid of my invisibility. Mislead. I gain the invisible condition. Ends after I make an attack, roll, deal damage, or cast a spell. Perfect. I'm gonna reach down and use my healing hands as an ASMR to heal 16 hit points to Kellen as I shout to him and Kinsalo. You two are on hostage control. Get these people out of here. And I'll stay hovering above the mirror.
It's one of them! Beast Devil! And you can see that even though these people are prisoners of Scald House Demir, they're pointing at Kellen, or Kinsalo rather, with his shown wings and fearing for their safety right now.
Oh, that's a problem.
But you have successfully healed some of Kellen's hit points. Reaction, action, anything else? You just hovering in that space for now?
Hovering in that space and invisible.
That's true. All right. It will be Kinsalo. Kinsalo will touch down immediately, going to attempt to administer some type of aid or assistance to this individual, but they're fighting him on it. So he's literally going to make a grapple attempt.
How many conscious people just appeared in that space?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but 2 of those had been reduced to unconsciousness already. But you get the sense that there were 12 total people stored in there. 2 thralls, 8 innocents, and you and Roulette.
So 6 innocents and 2
Kinsalo
thralls.
will succeed on his acrobatics check and will take to wing. That guy has burned his opportunity attack, so Kinsalo will just go here. He can't go his normal speed, though, so he actually can only get here carrying this woman. But he is able to lift off and ascend toward the ceiling out of melee reach of a vampire thrall and is otherwise carrying this woman. That'll be his turn. Nothing else he wants to do? I don't think so. That'll be it for him. Roulette, it'll be you next.
Figured out my camera, added a webcam. Okay. So I can very clearly tell that this dude right in front of me is attacking us, like apart from the red circle, because he took an opportunity attack at someone, didn't he? The one right in front of me.
This
guy tried to slash at Toby, but Toby disappeared with his illusion, and then he was eyed greedily Kinsalo, but wasn't quick enough to act there. This woman thrall is saw this person go down and is immediately identifying you as a capable threat sufficient of her attention.
Okay, so it's very clear that person in front of me is going to attack, or is of the bad. Okay. I am in Steel Sync after the mirror. I
Hey Tim, check
bonus,
chat.
bonus action. I'm going to Arcane Weapon, and I'm gonna pick Thunder. No, we're gonna do Lightning. Arcane Weapon, Lightning, and I'm gonna take my first just regular swing. No, first swing is going to be my cantrip. God, I can't click on that. Okay. My Bioshock Strike thing, which fucking Christ, why can't I? Sorry.
And as a reminder, are you steel synced right now?
Yes, so steel. That's
Okay,
what I
that's
was.
right. Yep.
I am 99% certain that was one of my 2 turns in the Mirror Realm. Was I
I
did the
believe
steel
that's
sync.
true. I do remember that. Yeah.
I did the steel sync, and then I did the glasses, the mirror thing, because I didn't break the mirror. Telperion did. I was about to, but he found. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you fashioned your little eyepiece.
Yeah,
So
I have a little.
you do have the blade singing feature active right now, where you can cantrip and into your normal multi attack because of steel sync.
You are correct. Okay, so it's. I can't click on this. Okay, I'm just gonna swing with my Mirror Light Blade, and then we're going to add 2d8 on top of that.
Okay.
If it hits.
Go ahead and roll.
Because there are a lot of things that get added.
Ooh, 19's good. Definitely a hit.
So we'll start with this. Slashing. Hold on, I'm gonna announce this as it comes out, and then it was 2d8. 1d6 force, 2d4 psychic, 2d8 for the lightning.
Indeed. None of which it resists, so it takes the full brunt of that 21. Very healthy
And
hit
then
to start.
I will do. Oh, add another 4 for the lightning. For my Dragoon.
Dragoon. Yes, indeed.
Oh, I actually. Well, I missed it. I'm not gonna take up any more time. Anyway, okay. 17 to hit.
17 does also hit.
I have too much damage to do. And then we'll do 1d6 plus 1d6 plus 1d4. We need to save these separately because I don't have this one plus 4. 1d6 force, 1d6 lightning for arcane weapon. There should be another
An extra
1d4.
D4.
Yep.
For the extra psychic.
Psychic,
The 12 plus the
13 slashing, so
15,
25.
so 25. Perfect.
Gee.
You healthily cut into that thrall, and you can see just spraying rather thin blood. There's not a whole lot of perfusion within this individual, but you are heavily wounding that woman already.
Done.
Okay.
Staying where I am.
Jiri, it is Shadow Moby's turn. And you are muted if you're talking, sorry.
Sorry. Does Shadow have flanking? I go here.
Yes. Yep. He can kind of hover down behind that position. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say no because this commoner is not a threatening foe. He's not threatening this person, and therefore is not benefiting from a distraction.
Shit. All right. Instead, he was gonna go over here and get some advantage with roulette.
That is great. Yep, absolutely.
Wait, Crit, did you see MK's chat?
I did, yes.
Okay.
24 absolutely hits.
12 necrotic damage.
And as you see Shadow Moby lean down and try and siphon energy, the vampire thrall just tries to swat it away as if it's nothing to it. Unfortunately, immune to necrotic damage in their undead state.
That's my strongest cantrip.
Alright, well. That's it then.
Okay. At initiative count 10, the thralls will act. The woman shouts to the man, Melchior, warn the Scarlord immediately. And he immediately takes the dash action.
Oh, right into me, please.
Right towards you, but you're another 10 feet into this space or so. And he just running at you, anime style, vampire style, just jumps up onto the wall and goes up onto the ceiling to crawl directly over you. He will still pass within 5 feet of you, so you do still get a strike, but he will well exceed your position in that corridor. So go ahead and take your strike if you would like to make an opportunity attack.
Yeah. I would actually like to. All right. 25.
Does hit.
Oh crap. A 3's the worst thing I could roll. What can I do to this guy?
Can you side strike off turn?
I can't
kill him?
side strike off my turn.
Take the sentinel feet really fast.
You know. There's one other thing I maybe can do, which is, can I add my die to this from my
Tactician.
crest?
It should clarify in the crest feature. I think typically that's a damage die, not in addition to the attack roll.
Okay. At this point, I have so many features to look through. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend and add it to. I will do that. Just to start with. Right.
Well, you
So
said a
He
3, right?
25 to hit, and you said that hit, and now he's working on damage.
Got
Yeah.
it, got it.
25 to hit. So this is 3 plus 5. So right now I'm doing 8 force damage.
Okay,
And I'll add a tactician swing to buff that.
got it.
Oh wait, I can't roll that. By another 3. God damn it. 9 or no 8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
Okay.
And then Toby, if you want, you can move half your movement right now.
Ooh, I do want to do that.
No opportunity attacks against you when you do it. And that's my swing.
Perfect. So as this creature runs toward you, you're sure you can, prevent him from getting past you, but with this climbing maneuver and going over your head, climbing on the surface of the wall as if it's nothing to him, you strike him and he winces and a small sound of pain, but he just continues climbing, and then he climbs past the lip of the ceiling and then just goes up and out of sight in that vertical space beyond the corridor.
So he's in the vertical space above my sliver.
Correct. Yes.
But I'm not looking there, so I can't see him anymore.
Correct.
But that's
You have like
theoretically
a 10-foot visual out into this vertical chamber, but he's on the wall that is no longer visible to you.
Thank you.
But Toby, are you going to move?
I'm gonna hover over this lady.
Okay. And she will, I think, focus on Roulette real quick. And we'll make her multi-attack.
Was that my reaction required, Telperion?
No.
Move? Okay.
Let me check.
Yeah, definitely check, but I don't remember.
I said no
what the
so
words were.
confidently.
Yeah.
Because if it does, I may go back to where I was to not use my reaction.
No action required.
Boom.
It's just like, because that's the die. It's such a nice freebie. Like, it's free movement, free, no opportunity.
Okay. So multi-attack on Roulette. Number 1, a claw strike. So she, after kind of batting away the Shadow Specter, she reaches with her claws and tries to grab you around the neck, Roulette. But you are heavily armored, so we'll see how successful she is here. 13 ain't gonna do it, correct?
You are correct.
And therefore, she cannot do her bite against a non-grappled creature. So she's gonna have to hit you with her claws again, or try with her claws again. 23 to hit this time.
That is a hit.
Okay. She will choose not to do damage and will instead grapple around you and like she's like trying to pry your neck from the armor and like bend it in a particular position. But you are currently grappled.
Oh, like no
That'll-
save. She foregone damage. So
Correct. It's not a grapple attack. It's instead of dealing damage, the vampire can choose to grapple the target instead.
Speed is 0.
It is Kellen's turn.
He is gonna grab this lady, this dude here, and begin trying to pull them along with him.
Okay. No acrobat or athletics check required. They don't fight him. He seems like a nice, good, well-meaning human man. And therefore, he will just be able to scoop her. And then where will Kellen start moving at half speed? Toward the entrance you came from, toward
yeah, I guess
the
would
right,
clambering
left?
over this be a little difficult?
It will be very difficult. That's like a 3-foot high little dais with a bowl. And now that you're kind of looking into it for the first time, there's a collection of some 20 beautifully well preserved humanoid hearts just
hearts.
collected
I
in
was
that
ready
bowl.
for skulls, not hearts.
Just hearts.
I'm gonna go 1, and he's gonna start trying to get over this body. Not
Yeah,
sure if
that's
he's gonna
fair.
be able to or not.
He can, with them being dead. It's really not very difficult to.
But if he's at half movement, that's where he'll get to.
Got it. 1, 2, 3. Yep, absolutely. Because it didn't require his action to try and pick her up, he can dash.
Ooh,
So
I
we
like
can
that.
put him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can put another 15 feet on there.
Let's do that.
1, 2, 3. Still half movement, so he's up there. Perfect. That'll be his turn.
He may set her down there, ready to start working his way back next turn.
Okay, that's cool too. Yeah, we'll have him deposit her. If that'll do it for him, it will be Jiri next.
All right. Let us see. All right, so the guy that disappeared, can we recount what Jiri sees just so I understand the physics?
Absolutely. Yep. You saw this woman give a command to this guy named Melchior, and he sprinted off that direction, and you saw him leap toward the wall and sort of skitter up onto the ceiling before disappearing beyond your sight. But you know he has, in theory, interacted with, passed, or been stopped by Telperion somewhere in that corridor.
Right, so this is a corridor. Is
Correct.
it like a 5x5 or like
I would
10
say
by
8.
5?
I would say 8 feet tall, 5 foot wide.
So he's occupying the like ceiling row, and then Telperion is in the.
In theory,
like,
he
ground.
would. Yes, as you saw him last, he would be.
Okay, got it. I will use my object interaction to unroll Shaggy, and use
Okay.
half my speed to mount Shaggy,
Okay.
and then I will hop on Shaggy. He's got a movement of 90.
Indeed.
He'll get it here.
Yeah, so 30 is fair game.
And he will be dashing, so I've got 120 to go with him.
Okay.
When
so
I get
30 burned
here-
at least. Yeah, then it will
When I get to
require
here-
squeezing.
Well, hold on, what do I see when I get to here? Because I want to see if I
Yeah,
make
sure.
eye contact.
Yeah, that's
like,
fair.
what do I observe?
As you get there, because this is all happening in a chaos simultaneously and not one at a time in
Right.
perfect order, I will give you the environmental awareness that right when you get there, you see the final bit of his movement on the ceiling, and then he crawls up a wall out of sight. So you know he's past the boundary of this 30-foot corridor, but you do not currently have visual on him.
You see me finishing an attack.
So this is like a 30-foot.
30-foot corridor, and then it opens up to a vacuous vertical chamber that has about 7-foot distance to the other side of the wall.
Got it.
So it's like an empty elevator shaft.
So how much? Since I've done this before, I feel like I would know. How much is it going to slow me down if I were to try to squeeze past Telpiran in through this like hallway here? Like how far do I
Squeezing, yeah.
envision?
So a large creature squeezing into a medium-sized space like this would be half movement, but you are also riding on him. So I'm gonna custom rule that it's more than it's less than half movement. So if you would like, I can just offer you the end result of you can get out of that 30-foot corridor using the rest of Shaggy's dash movement. This will involve squeezing into the corridor, squeezing above Telperion, through the corridor, and then you will end within that vacuous space, that vertical chamber beyond.
Jerry goes
Theoretically,
Alright,
being
let's
able
do
to
that.
look up at him.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay. You can do that.
And
You are able to, with Shaggy's dexterity and flexibility, you get there. You squeeze past Telperion through the corridor, and then you're in this 7-foot diameter radius space, or 7-foot diameter, not radius, but it is a circular cylindrical space that exceeds up. And at the very top, you can see, like 60 feet above you, you can see an iron lattice gate. And it looks like this is an old abandoned well that occasionally will collect some rainwater, but it looks like there's some divots in the bottom that can filter out some water. But otherwise, the creature is about 20 feet up above you on the wall, rapidly trying to reach that iron lattice gate.
20 feet, you say? How unfortunate. Then I will start by trying to hydroblast him.
Okay. I'm going to check. Shaggy, if he tried to attack being squeezed, would have disadvantage. But since you are a medium creature just standing on top of a squeezed creature, I'll say you do not have disadvantage. You can go ahead and make your attacks normally.
He's got to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I did click it, but it is taking a while and not sending, so I'm just going to roll it here.
I do imagine Jiri has a move called like the rolled up taco, where like you get rolled up like a dead body and you just like rocket through these small spaces.
Holy shit. 19 on the strength save, so I think that will avoid. So you coat the wall of this dry abandoned well with water, and it does make it slick, but his hands were like just high enough that he is able to keep moving.
Dang. Hold on, let me look up one spell since I don't have access to my just trying to see how far lightning lure can go.
I think it's 10 feet.
I think it's 15. So there's no
Sounds more right.
Would I be able to jump 5 feet since I didn't use all my movement, I only used half of it? Could I jump, get 5 feet closer to this guy?
You have not. You've burned half your movement of 15 feet to get on him. You have 15 feet available, so yes, you can sacrifice 5 feet of movement to jump and try and 15-foot lasso this guy. Yes.
Incredible.
That's what I want to do. That's what
Okay. It confirmed for me Lightning Lord does have 15 feet.
15 feet. Target must
Okay.
succeed on a strength saving throw or be pulled 10 feet in a straight line towards you and take
Okay.
1d8 lightning damage. Let's see if I can
Okay.
pull this guy.
Strength save. Paint me a word picture. How are you casting Lightning Lore? Is it magic from your hand? Is it magic from your already whip-like sword? What is visually happening here?
When Jiri does lightning lure, it's kind of like Spider-Man shooting a web, except for he like shoots it out of his hand.
Nice.
A web of lightning that like boop, shoots out and grabs onto the person.
Electro Web.
All right, strength save.
I really
Which
wish
again,
I
I
could.
clicked and it's not coming through, so I will roll it here. Strength save coming 3, 2, 1.
I really wish I could slivery barbs.
15's not going to do it against your DC.
Yeah, not
So
against
he
my
is-
DC.
Grasped and pulled toward you.
10 feet in a straight line toward me.
Okay, so at the precipice of your jump, you pull him toward you and deal some lightning damage.
Yes. 3d8. Let me roll that real quick. 8. 7 damage, and now we are both kind of in free fall, I think.
Yes, yes, and it's not a long enough fall for you to take damage. However, there is a body falling on top of you effectively, so he will take some damage, and I need you and him
Are
to
we
do
both
some
falling on
dex
Shaggy?
save. Yes, you are absolutely, but that doesn't. I'll say that can prevent damage or mitigate damage, but it's not going to mitigate the chance of falling prone because it's a very kind of clusterfuck in there. So dex save from you and dex save from the creature.
I think my dex is +2. Ooh.
You succeed in preventing his escape, but he does fall on you. You don't take damage, but you are knocked prone on top of the squeezed Shaggy, whereas this thrall lands kind of awkwardly, but on his feet and now looking down at you, ready to feast, ideally.
If he fell 20 feet, does he take any fall damage?
I'm going to say with his success on this and falling on Shaggy, I'll give him 1d6 of damage. Non-magical attack, yeah. Ooh, good roll. Another 6 points of damage.
We are both visible to, or he's visible to Telperion now, correct?
Yes, you guys are perfectly level. Telperion has an additional 7 feet of walking space, which is the moving Shaggy.
Amazing.
All right,
Perfect.
I think that's my turn then.
The Telperion, you saw Jiri just... It's not the full trampoline bounce game, but Shaggy gave Jiri a little push, and you saw Jiri jump up out of frame and then come falling back down with the guy with the electric lasso. Very cool.
Top of initiative.
It is top of initiative. Tactician can make a change.
Yeah, I've promised my friend 2 turns in a row, so I'm going to put Tim before me.
Wow.
Slaughter him,
Amazing.
Tim.
You are
All
you are prone on Shaggy with this creature standing above you. A little awkward how you guys are both quote unquote occupying the same space, but that's kind of the only option in this 7-foot diameter space. But yeah, go ahead and take your turn however you can.
Yuri does a trooper roll to get to his feet.
Okay.
I love Telperion just watching this.
He will sword smack this guy twice.
Okay. With
Draws the sword.
in close. With the close environment now, you will have disadvantage on melee attack rolls made against this creature right now.
Alright, fuck him anyways.
As he would against you as well.
Alright, disadvantage. Is there a way to do that on the dice roller?
Can you have what's his name buck him back onto the pavement?
Not really on the dice roller that I...
I'll just roll twice. 17?
17 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
God, I don't know how to do damage. It'll be
Oh, I can scroll up here.
2d8 plus 8 plus 6, I'm pretty sure. 1d8 for my sword, plus 8 for the damage. Auto 6 necrotic. Ooh, does he take necrotic?
He does not take the necrotic.
Okay, so we'll skip the necrotic and we'll do 1d8 plus 8 or 2d8 plus 8. You does the electric matter or should I roll that separately?
No, you can keep it all together.
It'll be this for the first strike then. 18.
Okay, 18 will cut into him. Minus 18, and you will the equivalent of bloodying a creature with limited blood in them already. With disadvantage, 14 will not quite do it. As you try and strike, he will grab your wrist to prevent the strike, but I believe he'll take some lightning damage anyway. So even as he prevents the sword slash, it just like sends a shock of electricity through him and does deal additional damage. And it will be his turn.
Hold on, bonus action.
Unless you have.
Oh wait, so he already has disadvantage against me.
He will have disadvantage against you because you guys are fighting within the same, essentially 5x5 cube of space. You're kind of both squeezing in this moment.
So I can burn him.
Then,
if you made him prone, he's less likely to flee.
And he can't get as far. Or I could punch him with my Cloud Fist. I don't know. Let's blast him again. Fuck this guy. He's getting wet.
Baldur's
He's
Gate
getting
3
wet.
I will
is vulnerable
hydro
to
pump him.
lightning.
Yeah, right? I
That
should.
that is a cool Baldur's Gate 3 rule that someday I could implement, but that's a lot to keep in mind sometimes.
Christopher,
That is a fail. Yes, Steven?
I was just gonna say, do you have to move Jiri up on the token tracker?
On the
He's
token tracker?
technically- he's
Yeah, I just had clicked too fast to tell
Never
Pyrian,
mind.
but it is still Jiri's turn, yeah.
Is there any way to like have Shaggy shake him off as he's falling? Like, can Shaggy try to just squeeze so this guy lands on the ground and not on Shaggy anymore?
That's interesting. I'm gonna say because Shaggy already used his dash action, he doesn't have movement.
This is a
available to
new
do
turn.
so.
A new turn.
Interesting. You're right. Movement. Yeah. The only concern I'm having now is you're also on him. Him trying to buck one creature and not the other is tricky, but not undoable. But I think you would be at some level of threat to do that. Do you command Shaggy to do that?
Yes, Shaggy is bucking like a
Okay.
wild stallion.
Shaggy will buck to try and loose his unwelcome rider. I'm going to have the Thrall roll a dex save with disadvantage, and you can roll a dex save with advantage. He's trying not to buck you, but you are at some level of threat.
11.
No.
And I'm gonna roll two of these. Hey, it's actually
The drama of this is so fun.
No! Why is it
It
so
is
good?
17 with disadvantage, but that is still sufficient to hang on to Shaggy. And your roll was what?
11.
An 11.
11.
11 is also enough to hang on to your mount.
Okay, that would have been
Okay.
really
So
funny.
Shaggy
if only
hilarious.
Jiri fell.
Shaggy tries to buck, but both of you are able to hang on with loose footing.
Got it.
That's
All right, that is my turn.
Can you dismount though, Tim, so I have a clear shot? Because with you guys there, it's going to be hard for me to get him.
I think it's kind of like this, where like we're kind of all occupying the same space.
But you guys are in an
You know what I
open,
mean?
like you guys are in that vertical area. There's a hallway here that I'm standing in.
So like if I could move this guy, it'd be like
yeah,
this. Kinda
functionally,
like,
you guys are fighting
Yeah.
within the same 5 foot, 7 foot diameter space on a curled up Shaggy, and Telperian's just like 10 feet to your left, really.
this is what I will do. Jiri will use his movement to like crawl around to like the other side of Shaggy, so that it like, yeah. If you can imagine this, the crawl will be in between Jiri and Telperian. Yeah, kind of like that.
Yep. Okay. Alrighty.
Okay.
Then it
Alright,
will
my-
be Telperian's turn.
Is he prone?
He is not prone.
Yes.
Oh, he did
Oh, he
fail his
failed.
water decanter save. Yes.
And he
Was
took 4
his
damage.
save at disadvantage? Or does that not matter? Is that me? Am I making that up?
He
I
did.
will
He still
check that.
saved.
It was just.
Oh yeah, he did make disadvantage. Yeah, he did make
Okay.
He still
disadvantage.
saved.
Yeah,
Got
that's
it. So if he's prone, I don't want to range attack him per se. If I meander 5 feet forward, can I swing into this fray at him?
Sorry, I
Actually, you know
flipped
what?
to another screen very briefly.
Okay.
But sorry, what's your intent here?
If I was to, are they a mess still? Like if I was to go up and just try to swing it with my sword, are they in a fray? Because I can separate them. I could try to separate them.
I would say they are in a fray, and you're not going to satisfyingly. You can, with the positioning right now, you're not at threat of accidentally hurting Jiri, but you're not necessarily gaining a flanking benefit right now.
I'll use my bonus action to try to telekinetically pull this guy 5 feet towards me.
Okay, very cool.
Brilliant.
Hey, you get over here.
And
I have to
just trying
sever your
roll
neck.
that. That's a fail. So after satisfyingly getting away from Telperian up the wall, he has been lassoed down, knocked prone, and then pulled back into the corridor.
Yeah, I
And
point my
Tucker's
sword at him,
just
and Kiermar
staring
just,
at him from
flares for a
above.
second. Like it's like for a second, like these like tendrils come off Kiermar and suck him back towards me, and then I'm just going to town, swinging on this guy.
Okay.
So, and he's prone, so I'll be at advantage. I'm gonna do my first attack as Moonflame Blade.
Okay. And Jiri, you are no longer squeezed.
No, I'm silly. I'll do my first attack
Shaggy
as
still is, but
I'll do my first attack as Booming Blade.
Booming Blade. Got it. Okay.
I don't want him running away. 25.
Absolutely a hit.
So that's a 12. I'm gonna do another. I'll just do another D10 for my psi strike, and then 2d8s. Need another d8. Okay. Okay. I really need a calculator. Sorry, guys. Let me take out my calculator. Calculator. Okay. 7 plus 8 plus 4 plus 3 plus 8. That's 30 for the first attack.
30 for the first attack
Yeah, that's
is
a combo of force damage and the
Booming
thunder
Blade.
damage. Booming Blade.
Okay. A heavy, heavy hit. You cleave into it, and from your psionic blade, electricity is just channeled through it and courses through Thrall's form. He's very nearly on his last breath.
And if he wasn't prone, he'd be knocked prone again. And he's wreathed in that booming energy for what it's worth.
Yep.
But I have 2 more attacks to carve into this little bozo. So,
Not bozo.
17 to hit.
17 will hit.
All right, this is a D12 and a D12 alone. 7 plus 5 is 12.
As you bring up your sword to strike, he calls out, "Vilcus, And then how do you end his life?
It stops because my sword goes pierce through his throat. And then I go, no, I said I'd sever your whole throat. And then I just jiggle it apart.
He is slain.
Fabulous. I haven't used movement yet. Can I see their friend? Is she still alive?
Their friend is 30 feet through a corridor and then a statue and then more stuff and more people. So I'm going to say you do not currently have visual, though she is likely 70 feet from you right now.
Ah, that is pretty far. I have one. Nothing. I have nothing to do. Okay. With my action spent on this guy, I'm just going to go guard the end of the hallway here. Well, I'll just walk out of the corridor.
Okay.
And assess the scene.
I'm gonna
because I have 30 feet of movement. If I wanted to get 30 feet, like, can I get over here? I don't, because the corridor is kind of extra.
As you get here, literally this space on the map, that will consume your 30th foot of movement. It will take you the whole way out of the corridor.
Then can I move to the side at least so Jerry could have a free path?
I'm gonna say you could duck. Yeah,
I'll duck.
Okay.
Jerry, I'll get out of the way, and then I do but I make it look cool as I duck. Kind of looks like I'm leaning on the door frame. All right, and then I'll pause there. We're also still remembering that my sliver's on the ground, and I will be getting it later.
Yes, indeed. Toby, it is your turn. Invisible, above the thrall.
I do not have my bow out, so. Surrounded by all of this nonsense, I'm going to see how dexterous this lady is. Or should I? Which feels. I bet they're very dexterous. So instead, I'm going to do Word of Radiance as a cantrip to end my invisibility directly above her and make her succeed on a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Con save, which is probably not. Oh, it did roll it for me. 11. That's a fail.
Fail. So 3d6 and 1d8, all radiant.
Need to get
10,
to her
12 radiant damage.
Okay. She is injured and it sears her face and she screams in pain, that source of magic being rather painful for her, but not quite vulnerability.
I will continue to hammer it home and use my last sorcery point for the day to Quicken is 2. Right.
Correct.
I was thinking twin, which would be 1 on a cantrip or first level, so I can't do that. I can do nothing. I will continue hovering above her and attempt to see if my Spare the Dying reaches this lady here to the side of me.
Okay. I'm going to say you reach out and feel that it is not mere unconsciousness. She has been slain and her soul pulled into the Fugue River.
That's my turn.
Okay. It'll be Kinsalo.
One last thing. I forgot. I
Yep.
have my wings out, so it's an extra 4 radiant on top of the 12 I did.
Got it. I will add that. Another 4. All right. Kinsala will, feeling that Telperian's exit from that corridor bodes well for that individual, knowing the Phantom Reflection is destroyed, he's going to prioritize getting another one of these individuals.
Yeah, he
away
sees
from the current
Telperion
threat.
smirking like business is taking care of it here.
He will make an athletics check to try and fight the desires of this person that are fearful of him. But he's pretty good at athletics, or at least a +3. That'll be a success. He is able to scoop one more individual
Yeah, he is.
and fly them and deposit them here. And then that'll be most of his movement. He'll start making his way back toward the remaining threat. Roulette, it'll be your turn.
Bob, we're swinging at this bitch. We're swinging at this bitch.
You are currently flanking with Shadow Moby as well.
I was about to ask that. I noticed a shadow there. First attack is going to be Bioshock Strike. So we are going to swing with the Mirror Light Blade. Okay. So that's slashing plus 2d6 more slashing. Am I still in the call right now? Can you hear me? Oh, sorry, no one. Okay. 2d6 more slashing.
Reeling from your net 20.
2d6 force plus 4d8 lightning plus 4 more lightning plus 2d6 plus 2d6 more lightning plus 4d4 psychic.
I feel such pride in the sword as if I was doing
Holy
anything to have made it
shit.
cool. But it's just
What
Steve
the
fucking
fuck?
killing it. Oh my god.
65 damage.
Okay.
That's not
So
loud.
a little bit of visual storytelling. This woman, this vampire thrall, was like clinging onto the leg of the person Kinsalo just hauled away from her, and then her next target was going to be this other person. She's looking up at a source of divine power, a mechanical construct in the form of a humanoid, and she's just like, "We were trained for this. Surely Master wouldn't oppose me indulging a last meal." And then she pulls this last woman toward her and is like trying to claw her way up to sink her teeth into that woman. And Roulette, how do you end her life?
She also has me grappled at this moment, so I imagine like she has one hand on. Yeah, she grappled me by a sword hand. So I let the sword go for a minute, and this is the shittiest end of a show ever. You know how Arya Stark drops the sword?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I imagine it's my steel sink, and it just like a part of the metal just like transfers it to my other hand, and I just stab her in the chest.
The source of your steel sink is now a 4-armed creature, so you let go with one, and it like detaches to form another arm.
Or just like hands it off to my other hand and like jabs her right in the heart, or where the heart would be.
And then you feel her clawed grasp around your
As,
neck
like,
loose, and
3
her hand
different
falls
colorful
from
pulses
the woman.
burst in her.
Yeah, lightning, psychic, force,
Jeez.
everything.
Now too, she is slain. Shit! Beasts! Vampires! What is this hellhole? And some of the people begin to like try and right themselves and start kind of frantically, chaotically moving around and fleeing from various individuals.
I'm gonna walk into the room and just like seeing them, I'm gonna go to the other. Oh, is that Mary? Oh,
She's good.
I want to kind of go to the other door, and I'm just like super uninterested in negotiating here. And I'm just gonna look at them all. I'm gonna like send them a ping, like saying, "Look at me," and I'm just gonna like draw their attention, and I'm just gonna point my sword at them. And I'm gonna say, "Shut the fuck up now! Do not move." And I'm just gonna try to intimidate this crew
Yeah,
of
give me an
drunken
intimidation
villagers.
check. I'm going to say, coming from a forest devil, you can make this with advantage. They are quite fearful of you to begin with.
Oh yeah, and this is based off this is based off my strength too.
Indeed.
I'm glad I hit advantage. 11 plus 5 is 16.
He's flexing while he does it.
I am flexing while I do it. And
With
looming.
16, they will all sort of freeze in place and fearing to even run. And then Kinsala will sort of stay put, but Kellen will start sort of making his way toward a nearby individual, trying to more a gentle touch, but they're all transfixed on you.
I'm going to say, here's the deal. You were all, for some reason, trapped in that mirror. Am I right? You don't need to agree with me, but am I right? You were trapped in there for some reason. The Scar leader here is not your friend. Am I right? Nod or shake your head on that one.
Some of them,
So shut
many
up
of them
for
shake
just
their
a
heads.
minute. He's not our friend either. I don't care what you've heard of forest devils or beast creatures. We mean you no harm. So shut up so we can get out of this safely. You need not do anything to be safe. Go stand quietly in the corner for a minute while we figure this out. You were an unintended benefit for when we broke that mirror. We don't want to ruin your lives. We'd like you to get out safely, but you can't leave right now until we figure it out. Am I clear?
They sort of look at each other. They're not friends, but there's an immediate camaraderie out of this environment and situation. And some of them sort of eye each other and nod and sheepishly nod toward you.
Just like point at the corner, and I'm gonna like put Kiramar down and like kind of like visibly like unscary, and then I just want to go check in with the friends.
Okay, I'm gonna say Kinsalo, nervous to frighten these people more, will gather with you guys, but otherwise Kellen will be sort of babysitter, so to speak, for the individuals collected over here.
Obi, do you want to go like heal them for a second with him?
Yeah, I guess. Do we have a single medicine kit between the four of us?
I think I do have one.
Would you be willing
I think
to hand it
Telperion
over to me?
absolutely does.
I'll give it to you.
I do not.
And I'll head down to them once my wings go away, and start. Let me get rid of that. Where is? Yeah, thank you. And start assessing them for wounds, using the medicine kit as needed, and working with Kellen to de-escalate.
Okay. I'll say the medicine kit is easily sufficient to tend to them without needing to bandage and consume its actual physical
Awesome.
properties, because none of them have serious injuries. They were prisoners, but not broken bones, bloodied, etc. So minor checks and stuff are able to sort of start easing their current psychological needs.
And
at
I'll
least.
start talking about how I'm a cleric. I was sent here to deal with this foul, goings on. We had heard of the people disappearing monthly, and just try and assure them that I'm actually here to help, and kind of like spin a helpful lie, that they were being looked out for.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
Good cop, bad cop.
Since you're unknown to them, I would have somewhat been inclined to make it with disadvantage, but because you're human and you are playing the good cop to tell Telyperion's bad, I'll say this can be a neutral, straight deception check.
Deception, I just have a +2. I rolled an 8, so 10. Just
a tenuous acceptance of your words for now.
I'll also
Okay.
make sure Kellen's okay because he took some beatings, but I think I did a decent healing on him.
So if all of us gather back, first point of order. He doesn't probably know we're here yet, because if they were just about to dispatch that one to inform, maybe no mechanism here has been tripped to like alert him. So we still have the element of surprise, although obviously we have a room full of hostages now.
And as you acknowledge the glass amongst your feet, also a broken, very rare item in the mirror behind you. But as its frame had collapsed, all the glass shards falling to the ground, within its frame, you do see an iron vault door with a large lock wheel on it.
Oh,
Is it a locked mechanism?
It appears to be a rotatable lock wheel that, with a quick investigation or conversation with at least Roulette, but maybe others of you who have some level of familiarity with lock wheels, is a very difficult lock to
Dang,
pick.
the
There's
phantom
no
reflection.
physical keyhole that can be picked. This is a sequential rotation based lock, so picking it will be quite difficult.
Right. I've seen this before. You put your ear on it, and then you can hear it activating as you spin it.
where, Christopher? Where is this vault door?
Directly behind Telperion, there's this large sort of
Right.
obelisk monument where the 10-foot tall mirror was set up
Was.
against.
Quick reminder: there were the tome that I had stolen, vampires in general, all very related to Kos. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
Curious about this vampire body that I was right by. I want to search it and see if he has anything on him.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Christopher,
Ooh.
first thing I want to do on this door, I want to just double check to see if there are any obvious traps or mechanisms that will activate upon opening this. In addition to, I want to is this a doorknob for a door that's right there, or is this meant to activate something else in the room?
Got it. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation as well.
To
Jerry.
add to, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead and let me know what you want to do as well, and then I'll handle results.
I'll go over, use Kair to pull the sliver back to me from the bottom of the well if I can, and I'll check the other
You are
vampire
able
that's
to.
out. Okay, sweet. And then I'll check the vampire as I'm walking over there too.
Okay, yeah, I'll have you go ahead and make an investigation check too. Easy enough to locate your fallen sliver at the bottom of that abandoned well. Kair brings it right to you, and then go ahead and make your investigation check for turning over the other vampire thrall.
Ooh, that's good. 13 plus a lot.
Okay. Jiri
20.
and Telperion, you each find these creatures were fairly feral, but they did have certainly intelligence to them, but very simple ragged clothes, no gear, no weapons. You do, however, find tied with a small string to each of their waists underneath their clothing was a very, very small silk bag with a single gemstone in it. Each of them contained a beautiful cut of a ruby gem.
Weird.
So you have each obtained one ruby, and before appraisal, you're not exactly sure what cost gold worth it would be.
Okay.
Then for Roulette, with a 24, you quickly determine this is not similar to the previous in the cellar mechanism over here that triggers something over there. This is in fact a lock wheel, and this is a hinged door frame vault door that should fall inward if applied. You do also see 4 small runes, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. You find the runes.
We need convert languages.
Can I tell what language it is? Is this like runic language, like math, or is this
It is runic in nature and symbol based, not language based. So if
Okay.
you would like to assess the flavor of enchantment or what you think is at play, you're welcome to make an Arcana check.
I would love to make an Arcana check. I am not touching the runes because last time I touched a rune in a Durastian-owned city, I controlled a cannon.
It's a good thing.
It was a good thing, yeah.
With another great roll.
2-4.
You do not think these are active runes right now.
Okay.
You sort of rule out the risk of a trap. And actually, something about the runes seemed familiar to you. And then you check the frame of the mirror and you find identical runes, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right of the mirror. These runes are no longer active. They are inert. But before the mirror broke, there was a link between the mirror and the vault door. And you know that some version of some ritual could have been at play here, with the sort of dais centered around these hearts, these unlit braziers. Something could have been interactable here, but is likely no longer the case with the mirror broken.
Do I think that ritual was a way to open the door, or is it something like how to access the mirror, get in or out of the mirror, or like did I deactivate a trap did we deactivate a trap by breaking the mirror?
I won't clarify its true function to you with your roll because of the information previously provided, but I will rule out you don't think that was related to a trap.
Okay.
You think it was related to some other function.
Neat.
I'll start heading back over at this point and start ritually casting Detect Magic. And see if that provides any further clarity.
Okay, you begin that. How about you, Jiri? What are you up to right now? Pocket the beautiful ruby, at least.
I kick the body, stab it in the heart, and yell to Talpyrion, Talpyrion, you didn't finish it off. He was still moving. My kill.
That's because he had an axe embedded in his nervous system.
Then I'll come out and I will go show Toby the ruby because he likes gemstones. Toby, check out what I found. What do you think it's for?
I'm like sitting, crisscross applesauce on the floor working on my ritual, and I just kind of, without totally acknowledging, just open my little pouch of all my cool little gemstones.
Wait, I say, Toby, I've told you before, you can just call it cross-legged.
I forget
Toby...
that Talpyrion can hear my thoughts as I think
just
about
hear that stray one. Anytime I've bugged you, anytime you think crisscross applesauce, I go like this.
You're doing, what is it, classical conditioning on me.
Yeah.
I will happily take the gemstone, but
Jiri is not giving it. He's saying, wait, Toby, hold on. These vampires had it. It could be useful right now.
I know the way that I use my gemstones perform different magic. I only have one application necessarily for rubies, but it's just that flame spell. So I'd be curious in asking Minerva, Mirage, what rubies are typically used for in foci, especially if it has to do with vampires.
Well, they both
Anybody
have
know?
one.
Yeah, anybody know anything about vampires?
No. But I would wonder if them having one was either payment from their master, because they were embedded in a mirror. Like, was that as an experiment, or were they gods?
Guarding gig.
So it could have been payment, or it could have... I mean, you'd think maybe they could communicate through it or something, but as we saw, he went to chase him down to warn him. I just don't know how long we have before he discovers all of this. And I don't know how much he can communicate to Durast.
So I'm saving my teleportation spell slot. I have 2 high-level spell slots left. that I could use for sending. I could let Jay know to stall him longer. I could alert someone else. I could do any number of things with these 2 slots I have available. Because I don't know what to do with these people down here. I don't know the best way to get them to safety.
Maybe we
Could
should
they
kidnap him.
Could they come
Because,
with
like,
us
at
if
this
we use
point-
the scroll?
If we use the scroll, I don't
No,
know
not the
en-
scroll. Your teleport. How many could that take?
No, I can take us. And that's it. Right. Let me start working on. While I'm finishing my ritual, I will start doing some mental math on my word of recall.
Maybe we should either kill or capture the vampire guy. Head guy.
Well, that is interesting, actually.
Lord.
I mean, at this point, it can't hurt.
Well, I don't know if this is the correct moment to do it because he's had a party surrounded by a couple hundreds or dozens of dozens of his closest allies upstairs. So I don't know that we'd be able to get him. And if he finds out something's going on down here, he's going to bring him and his coterie of guards, I'm assuming.
Could we sneak them out of the manor?
These folks in the corner?
Yeah.
I mean, what's over down that hallway? I saw the guy climbing up. Is
It seems like they had to climb up to like a grate that seemed like it was going outside, and it seemed like it was going in as part of the manor.
Yes, it's like a well. So
So if
I
we
mean,
have a
that
way
would
to
be-
escort them out, maybe Shaggy could ferry them.
Would
would
be
need to
invisible if
scout
you-
first. Yeah, Roulette. I don't know if you could scout out what's up there.
I certainly could in a second, and we could, in theory, also get them invisible for a little bit just to help them escape.
Maybe we could send them towards my mom's clinic, just to
Think-
kind of be looked after.
Would anyone else benefit from a little rest as we work this through? Because I could resummon Loaf with an hour if we rested, and we could just get our heads on straight for whatever we are
And that'll
about
give
to
us
do.
time to focus on this lock too. Once I
Yeah.
look for any
we-
residual magic.
I don't know that. Well,
I could ask
I don't know
Jay
what
to
way-
stall
lo-
for an hour.
I don't know what alarms we may have tripped. I don't know what the folks back in the previous room, the other guards might find. Although I guess we're pretty clear there.
We killed one guard, and no one else detected us. Correct?
Not that we know of.
Oh, there might be a guard shift, guard change.
One missing
Something
guard
like
is not. One missing guard's not the biggest deal for a busy night like this. That's something that they might not. We've tripped no other suspicion. I think we're okay for the moment.
I'm just in general. The longer we're down here, the more likely it is that we're found out. But I guess main thing is if anyone can scout. I guess I can scout outside. But if anyone can just go peek out of that the top of that well, just so we have a better idea of where we are.
Yeah, I think that's how we need to ferry the people out of here.
I'm gonna take a closer look at this door, and I think the second I open this door, we might have to go and go somewhere else to finish that rest.
We still do need
I-
to open this lock.
That's fine. I do
Okay,
agree,
hold on,
though.
guys. I got an idea. Hear me on this one. What if I went and pretended to be that guard, and then was like, "Oh, I'm sick. I need to go home." That way, they're not worried about him.
Or you could just
How would you
continue
get back to us?
patrolling.
And that way, they're not like worried about that guy because they're definitely gonna be worried about him.
How would you get there / back to us?
Oh yeah, how did we get into here? We like
We
drank
walked
that
through a
weird
wall with
concoction and
a
yeah,
one-way ticket.
yeah, we're not getting back that way.
Oh, I forgot that was in a completely different room.
It has only been 10 minutes, even though it feels like it's been
That's
like
fair.
2 weeks.
Does anyone have a familiar that can be invisible?
Yes.
Or
Not
okay. What if Moby, Jiri and Shadow Moby go to the well, check out what it looks like outside the well. I really don't want to just leave the people down here, and I don't want to take them with us, because if we leave them, they'll just leave. So we need to figure out a way to escort them out without, like, their freedom is impingent on our not being detected as well.
Yes.
Correct. I don't think we're taking them with us or leaving them down here. I think we want to get them at the top of that well secretively. Period.
And
Alright,
I think
I'm gonna go
I think they could
spy.
land safely
I'll be right
at
back.
my mother's clinic, so that's where we can direct them.
The thing I really actively want to do, so I will. I mean, I have some. I want to think about stuff, but so I'm going to kind of scheme, but also sit there and just start resummoning love. If we have the time to be short resting, I'll just start the process.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with just
Yeah.
starting it, even if you cut it short.
At least 10 minutes is able to go by first. Jiri, you said you were about to do something?
Yeah, Jiri's gonna go up to the. Since we're short resting anyways, I'm gonna cast gaseous form on myself and go float up to the top of the grate and like peek out as a little cloud.
Okay. You are able to do so, and as you peek your head out the grate, kind of amorphous form a little bit, you just see shrubbery all around you. Dense, carved, like a topiary that is hiding a secret abandoned well.
I will rise up into the sky and get a bird's eye view of the surrounding area to get a better kind of understanding of like geographically where are we.
Okay. You sort of escape the branches and dense foliage of this topiary, and you seem to be in a well manicured garden space within Demir's outside exterior campus ground. You're inside their estate still, but outside the house. There is the secret entrance or exit for its vampiric denizens hidden within the garden.
And what I'm looking for is what would be the direction of like the walls or like the closest way out of the compound.
You could, in theory, try to get over the thick stone high 12 feet high ivy covered exterior boundary walls of this garden that sort of bind the northern half of their estate. You also see a number of Durastian guards posted out back, preventing rear entrance into the estate, but they're not necessarily doing rounds amongst the garden. So you have an opportunity to, okay, we could try and sneak over the walls over there, somewhat in view of potential guards, and you know where not to go toward the guards.
All right. I will come back, convey all that information to the group, and then start short resting.
Okay. First thing to happen as a rest begins is your detect magic goes off Toby, and there are magical paraphernalia here. The runes on the vault do glow because they are magical in nature. Even if their bind has been broken and they're not active, they are still magical entities, glyphs. Also, all 4 of the lit braziers glow, as they are continual flame, the spell, as well as the 4 empty brazier bowls surrounding the bowl of hearts.
Gross. What type of school of magic are the runes on the vault?
The vault is conjuration.
Conjuration. I wonder if trying to access the vault would have caused the mirror to spit out the 2 thralls.
That's what I'm wondering. It's some sort of link between it. I don't know if it was a lock or I don't think it was a trap, but
Yeah.
I think there was some sort of link between it.
Something conjuration based that is now not active. Also, these disgusting ritualistic bowls. What are those giving off to me? The empty basins.
They seem to be necromancy school.
Oh, I could have
And then the continual flame braziers are whatever continual flame is, evocation or otherwise. Maybe.
Is there anything in those 4 bowls, or is it just like empty bowls?
Go ahead and make an investigation check real quick.
Jesus Christ. You're going to tell me there's like a left ventricle in there?
You don't know your ventricles from your aortas. They do appear to have residual ash coating the basin of the bowl, as well as you do think a smattering with that investigation score. You do see a smattering of ruby dust. Virtually impossible to extract from the ash, but some version of ruby has been used in a ritual with those bowls.
So how they make those thralls.
So I don't think they were just making more continual flames, which is what the ruby dust is used for when I use it.
Should I just take a crack at this door real quick just to see if I can...
I mean, yeah, there's nothing else
Do it.
standing out to me magically. Those runes are inactive. I say go for it.
Putting in his birthday.
And I will drop the detect magic to begin guiding Roulette, giving enhanced focus to your deduction skills.
Okay, you
The
begin to
last
guide
thing I will
roulette.
do-
Okay.
last thing I'll do is I will use my mirror headset just to like look at the vault door just to confirm that there's not anything weird or hidden or glowing upon reflective surfaces.
A cursory glance to sate your own paranoia reveals nothing of concern.
The narrator judges you.
And next thing to happen as Roulette begins to entertain the notion of interacting with that vault wheel, Telperion, your Find Familiar can complete, and you're welcome to spend your gold to summon Loaf.
Amazing.
Actual last thing. I'm gonna get... He's a little what?
He's like a little vampire Loaf this time. He's got a little gothic hinge to his feathers because of where I summoned him.
God. I'm gonna get 3 other people to just join me at the wheel, and I just want 4 people to touch the wheel at once, just to see what happens. More paranoia.
4 people touch the wheel at once, and nothing happens.
Cool. Okay. Knowing how some of these locks might work, I am going to grip 2 of the handles, and I'm just gonna start turning whatever way my brain says to turn.
Okay. To begin, please make a sleight of hand check.
Will
D4 is
do.
dropped, and you get a 4.
If a mug is painted metallic colors, can you still microwave it?
I would say no.
22.
22.
You very carefully begin rotating it. It won't rotate counterclockwise, so you're forced to rotate it clockwise. And you just take your time. It takes 10 minutes for you to rotate it carefully enough, 180 degrees, before you swear you felt the slightest click of vibration, and you let go. And then it dawns on you that this thing likely has multiple layers of sequential interaction, and you have passed the first, but that took about 10 minutes to do.
That's fine.
And this is not a restful activity.
So you and I will not be resting.
Okay, I am going to keep it where it is, knowing that I now likely need to go back in the other direction after having dropped the first pin on this wheel. I'm going to step back, and I'm going to look in my notebook for the spell that I just flash recalled and that I used for the first time. And I'm going to... I'm going to rest my hand on the wheel, I'm going to spin my ring, and we're going to cast Arcane Luck for myself.
Jesus.
Instead of Arcane Lock. And I'm specifically trying to channel some magical luck to myself to undo this lock.
And I'm also just standing behind you, like around your head, just providing guidance. giving you some mental
Yeah,
acuity.
You can benefit from guidance again. Okay, I know how I want to handle that. It will be. I'm going to use the language of the spell manifests sometimes outside of your control.
Yeah.
And so you know a spell just took and has affected you. You're welcome to try the second phase of this lock mechanism.
Badass.
I will.
Hey, Steve, you like Flash Recall?
Sorry,
I said, hey, Steve, you like Flash Recall?
I do. Yes. I. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna dump it into it. I am also going to cast Enhanceability on myself for Dexterity
Okay.
because Arcane Lock
welcome.
or Luck is not concentration.
Indeed.
Or
It's
wasn't.
cool watching
wasn't
you like layer on the buffs to do what you want.
Yeah.
it?
Okay. So sleight of hand with advantage plus guidance plus a to be determined buff you don't know about yet.
Can I do anything but say good luck?
Wait, I don't know why that rolled 3 times. Oh no, it didn't.
It didn't.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
25 plus whatever guidance was.
2.
27.
Go ahead and for the fun of it, roll one more die, one more d20.
D20? D20.
Oh.
18. So 24 would have
with
been
a 27. Sure, with a 27 on the second one, you rotate it correctly the opposite way, taking another 10 minutes to do so. And then as it clicks, you hear a click again. And then as you pull away, inexplicably your hands grip and they don't pull away, and you accidentally pull it and just loose it. And the whole door goes. Your arcane lock having luckily triggered, and you feel the expenditure of its magic, luckily availing you of an additional movement after that lock success.
Hell yeah.
The vault swings open.
Is anyone else scared
Inward.
of roulette a little bit?
I'm scared of all
And
of
it
us
swings
all
inward?
together at the same time.
It swings inward to reveal about a 10-foot deep by 5-foot wide and 8-foot high cubic volume. Pitch black, dark stonework, but just so little light getting in there that it's almost pitch black, except the flickering flames do cast reflections through the space of a huge pile of gold and silver, probably easily over 100 pounds of coin. And then a wooden chest, awkwardly sort of embedded and situated, settled into the pile. And that's it.
I mean, we're taking all of that,
I mean,
right?
I'll provide some extra light.
Toby, could you do a detect magic again? I don't know if I don't know if this would have been protected. I don't want to be picking up a trap of sandy swords.
Do you
All
care
I've
if I
got to
take
do is
10
put down
minutes,
the
or do you
portal.
care if I do it right now?
Sorry?
Quick.
Do you care if I take 10 minutes, or do you want me to do it this instant?
I'd say do it quick.
Okay, I will cast.
But then they're
magic.
dangling a portable hole, like, I'm gonna drop it right under all the gold.
before you do that, I might have it.
Little-
If you have it, that would be great, because it's a 5th level spell for me right now
To do what?
I do.
to do detect
Not.
magic.
I can detect
think 10
magic. I'll take 10 minutes and do it.
No, we're saying we don't
Well-
want to take 10 minutes.
I want to do it quick.
Oh, I'll do it as a spell then.
Please do.
Okay. You will also forfeit your short
Yeah.
rest in doing so. But you do get the comforting knowledge that nothing in here seems to be of magical import perhaps every magical opportunity previously providing the protection, none within.
And I bet if
this
we
vault.
opened up that chest, it would have a little shine to it of the access red.
Do I detect the? I'm looking. I'm thinking about the thing we came here for. The writ. Do I sense the writ?
You don't sense the writ currently.
I'll see if
Did
that
you say-
chest can be opened.
What was your question, Steve?
Did you say nothing in here is magical, or was that
Absolutely nothing in here.
Okay.
Alerts your awareness of magic
Gotcha.
in the space.
Telpyrian, would you mind psychic opening that trunk or chest?
It is not locked. And as you do so, you do see a couple things. Number one, a thick leather-bound tome. It seems old, well-worn leather, but also well cared for. You see a couple individual velvet black satchels. And then you know there's a ledge there that opens up, and beneath there, under a lead lining cover, is
Lead, very cool.
a wide spell scroll contained within this chest, identical in appearance to the one given and shown to you by Skull-Lord Kartash.
Does it start
that?
pinging magical?
There's also a simple piece of parchment rolled up in that bottom tray as well.
Instructions.
And yes, the teleportation scroll, the access writ of does light up as magical.
I Kair out the little scroll that's not the teleportation scroll, and then the silver, the bags, and I'll hand those to Toby and Roulette.
Okay.
And I'll read the scroll. I should have my book.
Unrolling the scroll, it seems to be a custom recipe for the poison known as pale tincture.
Oh fuck yeah, that is.
Whoa.
Does it say what pale tincture does?
Makes
You
you
are
tan.
welcome. You are welcome to look it up in the 2024 rules, and I believe that is on like page 77 of the DMG. I think.
Hell yeah. Okay.
I might have that page wrong, but pale tincture is a famously difficult poison to brew, and the goal is for it to be virtually undetectable and kill the ingester slowly over a period of days. The pouches, there are 6 small velvet pouches. Who did you hand those to?
I had 3 to each Roulette and Toby.
Okay. They each have a weight of a single solid object in them.
More ruby
Toby, you take
gemstones,
all of them
probably.
for now.
I'll open one of them and see if it's a ruby in there.
It is a ruby, almost identical in cut and size to the ones opened on the thrall's persons.
And I will also take that leather-bound tome and stash it where I grabbed the other ritualistic book.
Wait, but is
Okay.
it thirsty looking? Like, what does the cover say? Or is there no cover?
I don't even care to open it and read it. These are going to be destroyed.
You can't destroy it before you know what it is.
I can, and I plan to.
I'll fight you on that, dude. We got to know what evil he did first. I'll destroy it with you, but we have to open it. Read it.
While they're having that conversation, I just want to take a cursory glance. Not cursory. I want to take a thorough glance, peeking into this room. There are no magical traps. I want to see if there are tripwires or other things, or pressure plates or other things that need to be reset or redone before taking the horde.
Make an investigation check, please. You
23.
do a thorough pass, and what avails your awareness is not a trap, but additional secretly stowed wealth buried under the pile of gold coin, just kind of just shoved into this little cubby, this volume of space, lining the floors around the base of the walls are just individual ingots. Gold ingot, gold ingot, gold ingot, gold ingot for the entirety of the perimeter, and at the 2 corners, a platinum ingot and a platinum ingot.
Dude, holy fuck.
So, does anyone have any reason why we shouldn't take everything?
Portable hold. lay it out, start scooping it.
I'm gonna have everyone make an
Ours.
intelligence check.
I love that.
I will give my guidance to Roulette.
I'm
Ooh,
going to
0.
say this is a passive intelligence check. No
I
guidance
got it.
available
I
for
got
this.
this.
I love that.
22.
It's ours. There's nothing that could go wrong with us taking it.
Does my passive investigation come into play at a 22?
I'm going to say no. It is purely based on memory. Telperion, as there's something that seems too easy about this. This is an insane hoard of wealth gathered by a whole Skull house and its available networks and contacts and resources and business dealings. Shoving it all in a bag sounds amazing, but it just seems too easy to do. So as you voice the question, is there anything you recall one of your primary tasks with Skull Lord Kartash's assistance in availing you access to this place was, please drop this gold coin in his vault and make it look like he wasn't robbed.
Oh.
Bro, I don't care. We're taking it.
Make it look like he wasn't robbed, eh?
No, we're
Hang
robbing
on,
him.
before we
That's
even
it.
Just
Okay.
a request by the Skull Lord. You're welcome to abandon that request and see how that changes the course of your interactions available with that individual, or there's infinite opportunity for creativity and freedom of your character, but that sentence does recall into your mind now.
I have something I can do.
That was before we knew he was a vampire.
I have something I can do. I could. So, how this pile of gold? Like, is it like 2 feet tall, 2 feet wide?
5 feet wide, covering the entirety of the floor of the space, but yeah, like 2 feet tall toward the back of it, and then
So-
it slopes down toward the entrance.
I could stone shape a big mound, and then we just leave like a very parse amount of gold to cover that, to look like the shape of the pile, and then we still get like 95% of the gold, and then we leave that coin for
Can you-
Jay. And then we take the ingots. I don't care. what it is.
transform anything.
I mean, I wouldn't waste a stone shape on that. I think we could just like pile the bodies and then the two vampiric folks and just put a tarp over it or something.
It would start to rot.
But
Do
also,
vampires
here's
rot?
another thing. The mirror is shattered. I don't know how well we're going to be able to make it seem like he wasn't robbed.
I also agree, like, we're going to take the writ. It's in the special chest. That's the whole reason we're here.
I mean, we made a little fake scroll, but there's too much valuable here. Like, that's a meaningful request from him. Maybe we can find another...
Why would we...
I mean, I can
Okay.
just tell him he's a vampire lord. That's like the big secret of this house. Jay can use that to destroy their clientele, their image, everything. I think he would have...
all wealth.
Yeah, I think we
He'd have no wealth.
leave him bereft of wealth. We tell Jay his secret, and this Skull House is done tomorrow. I think he would have learned about the vampirism if we left this gold coin there. But we can just tell him that.
So does that mean you'll give Kartash one of those books to prove that he's a vampire?
No. Because Kartash is very opportunistic and will find a way to use this while convincing himself it's not for nefarious reasons. To not be inconsiderate to your wishes, I will open this and try and glean the very bare bones of what is intended in this tome.
All I'm saying on that one, and I agree with that plan if you like, it could be a ledger of expenses. We could learn where if it's not evil,
That's probably more
you shouldn't
likely.
destroy
That's
it.
probably more
That's
likely.
all. If you find out, look at this, it's how to make vampire spawn, burn it. Burn it yesterday. But just know what it is before you burn it. Stealing the pile of gold.
We can't replace the mirror, and that is the biggest lock he had in place for this vault.
Here's the thing. Your friend would be happy if we left this gold, we dropped this coin in, and he would think, oh, they didn't want my gold. They weren't after the gold. I can see it all. The true gold is here. I know it. No coin has gone missing. They were only after the scroll. Your friend would get to spy. That's the most direct path to appeasing that man. I'm not saying it's worth appeasing that man for what we could gain here instead. This is one of the rare people we actually could steal from utterly and not feel guilty about it. It wasn't like Ostennis where we found a bunch of wealth and then had to give it away, you know?
Yes, I think what Jay had hoped for was juice to use against the Skull House. And I think that what he would gain is what we can just tell him at this point.
I agree. The cool thing about Platosh is ambition, and this is a move of ambition both for us and for him.
And
so
we can start seeding how to make his house bigger or to raise up another house that's, friendly to him. Like this.
The thing is, you could message him right now, and you could tell him to listen, but we don't need his approval to do it.
Okay.
Has the hole.
I'm not going to spend. It would probably take at least 2 messages, and then I would have only left my teleportation for the day. I'm not going to do that messaging right now.
I wouldn't. He could, if you messaged him once though and said, "Hey, activate your coin. You can listen to our plan." He could get insight into what's happening now, but that's not really worth it at the moment. I have the purple hole. It looks like it has emptied. I think we emptied it.
We did.
You definitely got rid of
all the fucking bodies and grossness.
Yeah, but what wasn't just all the bodies. You had emptied those so that you could put one large vulture rock head in it with some talons. But I think you ditched those and hid them in Chasm Park, in Cliffshade. So it is.
That we remember.
So I think it is very empty right now.
It is. Is it big enough that I can literally just put it in the middle of this room?
What does it say? What does the portable hole say? Does it say?
I think it's a 6-foot diameter.
Okay.
Hang on. Oh no.
Which works for the
in 10 foot deep, right?
It unfolds into a circular sheet 6 feet in diameter, 10 feet deep.
Correct. So I think it's just slightly too wide for this is a 5-foot wide vault.
We can shove it on the wall.
Oh,
6 foot diameter, we said?
Yeah.
Okay, so 169 nice cubic feet available. And this is
you said like a 5
by 10 pile times 1/2 because it's times 2 times 1/2 because it's sloped from the back to the front.
So it's about 150, yeah.
It's about 50. 5 times 10. Times 2 times 0.5. Yeah, 50.
Oh, times 0.5. I thought you meant.
Shouldn't it be times 1.5? Oh, yeah.
But point being, yes, the quantity of gold can all fit in this portable hole.
Let's do it.
Does the portable hole have a weight limit?
No.
Okay. Okay, it can all fit.
Wait, Crit, is there a surface in this room that we can throw it on, like the
No,
wall?
not easily. You'll have to sort of scoop it onto an open area in front of the mirror.
That's fine.
Let's just put it in front of the door, and we can just start
shoveling. While they shovel, I will open the leather tome and begin trying to glean the main purpose of it.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Ledger stands out in my brain to look for, and then also like nefarious vampiric magic.
You look at it, a bunch of abyssal symbols and writing. It's definitely language.
Oh, that's right.
Do you know abyssal at this current time?
I could. Irony of that's really funny. Hey, Toby, do you need to translate?
Hey, I'm like very dead serious about this shit. Like, this is opposed to everything I stand for. If it's the vampiric, if you get a glimpse of that, I need you to be honest with me and tell me this.
How is not with your friendship, Toby? I'll be honest. Give me 10 minutes. I'll ritually cast comprehend languages.
Okay. Going into minute 40 or so down in this space at this point.
And are you guys shoveling gold into the hole?
Yes.
That we established that we're doing.
Roulette's doing that. Jerry's almost through his short rest. I'll start, since Telperion is doing that
servant
ritual,
help
I'll tell
with
Kellen
shoveling.
and the people, hey, we've got a pretty good idea of how to get you out of here safely. We're going to take you to the clinic over in, not the Drakewoods. What is it? Where's my...
The Drake. It is the Drake.
It is the Drakewoods. Over in the
We're
Drakewoods.
taking them?
We're going to bring you to this clinic over in the Drakewoods.
We're bringing them?
What do you mean?
How?
We probably have to chaperone them off the grounds at the very least. Maybe using Shaggy in the cover of night or something.
I'm gonna tap these folks invisible. You're gonna get them out that grate, and we're gonna leave them. I
give
whisper.
I'll give them clear directions.
I don't think we need to be risking our own hide out there, especially when we do not have a good way to get around.
We also could give them each 25 gold from this pile and tell them good luck after we get them invisible out the door and keep your mouth shut about what he saw.
That's a beautiful idea.
I hate that idea.
Listen, this is the one moment wealth is not an issue, and we have a problem that can be solved with money. We
That
rarely
gold's
get
ours.
that.
On principle, I do not. I can't allow that.
It
to
is
happen.
ours and ours to do with what we please. I will happily fork up 150 gold to these 6 people to assure their silence, begin telling them how to get to this clinic, and wishing them the best.
Also, you could think about it this way, Jerry. They were held hostage here, and they were going to get turned into thralls. So it's kind of the least Skull could do to pay them a little retribution, reimbursement,
Recompense.
recompense.
Right.
Thank you.
Reparation.
This is
Blow
common.
on us right away.
I have
Can I
removed
count
150 gold from my inventory,
Okay.
which will then be compensated by this insane
Reimbursed
stack.
and then some. Telperion,
Well, I take a
Your-
little piece of
Yep.
paper out of my book as I'm doing my ritual. All right, plus 150 gold, and I put it in the pile that's going in the hole to Toby. Yeah. So I'm doing like arcane signals in the air, symbols in the air, like using my book and like referencing it, and like I feel like I'm like painting a word map, kind of like what's it called? And what am I using? And my crown is like helping me project out the map because that's my foci. And then I'm thinking of, it's very Elantris, that magic when they do the tracing with their fingers. So it's like I'm doing a little bit of, and it's like this, as I'm writing, the words are transitioning into the language I'm anticipating reading. So there's like abyssal, like staining the magic.
cool. Your magic does complete, and you are able to comprehend languages. You take a look through the ledger,
Ooh, yes,
And
this love tone.
which is a ledger.
Oh.
It is absolutely a business ledger of many contacts, critical supply lines of gem exports, and most notably, human trafficking. These people have been in heavy interaction with the witch Moira, and you put 2 and 2 together, and they have been selecting amongst their populace anyone they can determine and find with unique species blood. Oh, their great grandfather was a dragonborn, or I heard both of their parents were dwarves, or this person, I think there was a drow that first brought their family to Cliffshade. Anyone with a trace of unique species blood has been captured, imprisoned, and in many cases transported to Daenor for experimentation by Moira the witch. You piece a couple things together, they are absolutely helping her facilitate ongoing experimentation for Simic qualities.
I read some of this aloud so Toby knows that I'm not just like making it up and trying to cover up that this is a ritual tome. And I also like am saying this so Roulette can hear all of it. And Jiri actually, because it's like relevant to everybody.
Okay, so I'd love to copy this down for us to have, and I would love to leave this as proof of our goodwill to Jay. And give
Agree.
him a way to fully and completely dismantle this skull house.
I agree. We need a copy for ourselves though, because we can't give that up yet, or we need to read it
Dealings with
thoroughly
Moira
ourselves.
is what's important to us. Anything
So give me a
else?
long
Also,
rest. Give me a
just
long rest to
from the
look it over.
just from the ledger as well, you also get the clear indication that not all of the Skull House's wealth is contained within this one vault. They have many holdings throughout the city, but this is by far their, prized storehouse.
Jiri, question for you.
Ah,
Does Shaggy become an object when you roll him up and wear him on your back?
no, he's still Shaggy.
So I don't know that I'll be able to bring him back with us to Ostennis.
Put him in the
Go,
port hole.
If we can
For
do that, that would
the moment,
work nicely.
He could also go in the necklace.
because I am
he's not a
capped
creature.
out
So
with
probably
us for Kellen and Consalo.
Well, if the problem is that he's not an object, that he's a creature, he could go in the necklace.
We could do that. And I know Daisy can turn into a little plate or whatever.
But Loaf is a creature. He counts. You can't leave him. So this is an important development that we're actually not going to be utterly destroying him by taking all this gold, but we will be crippling him. And then by giving Jay this information, hopefully that makes good for the fact that we took what we saw.
I think this is as good as leaving that coin for him, and more.
And also, he wouldn't be traced at all still. Like, and he could use this to his
That's perfect.
advantage.
That's perfect.
We also could leave the coin somewhere.
Yeah, a single coin
We could
somewhere
paint it black and
seems-
stick it to the ceiling or something, embed it in the stone. Like, he'll probably use the vault again.
I could do that. It's another spell for me to use, but I could do something like that.
Well, could Roulette just color it? We could also stick it to the bottom of the altar, and then he would have evidence of the vampiricism. Like, there's different ways we could help ruin this man.
Do we have paintbrushes and paint?
I have black ink. As my scholarly wizard tools, I have black ink.
I'll get out the coin from Jay and dip it in ink to try and get it to stain a darker color.
It will stain a little bit, but
It's
if you
magical,
imagine
and I feel
sticking,
like
yeah. Well, it's also if you imagine sticking a quarter into ink, it will kind of like it'll
Drip
get in the
off,
crevices
yeah.
and stuff, but it will not adhere beautifully.
I wonder if I could.
I don't have color changing cantrips or spells.
I don't know that my stuff can change color, but I don't.
It's the problem with magic that it's not very permanent.
What I'll do is I will.
I could char it with the staff, and we could get it.
Nah, I'm not worried about that.
Blackened
What
in
I'm gonna
flame.
do is I'm gonna hop on Shaggy, have him take me up to the ceiling. Let's say like above this spot here, and I will use a stone shape to kind of embed the coin in the ceiling, so as not to fully cover it, which I would imagine would neutralize its effect, but kind of get it to stick in place there.
Oh,
Hopefully out of view.
I can change the create a static visual effect.
Yeah,
that remain.
and I'll do that and hop down, let you hop on Shaggy, and bring you up to do that to make it.
It's not going to be
blend
out of the
in
range of
ceiling.
the spell of scrying, is it?
I don't know.
I will create a static visual effect that effectively makes it blend into the background of whatever Toby stuck it to.
Are you doing this with magical tinkering, a cantrip, otherwise?
Magical tinkering with my my Iron Quill.
Okay. Perfect. As you finish that endeavor and come back down, yeah, it gets lost in the ceiling real easy.
All right, action items. Turn the people invisible. Give them the gold. Get them out of here.
Yeah, we need to make sure we know how to open that grate up top. I imagine they were just gonna lift it to get out.
And the vault is empty at this point. Yeah.
We left nothing in there.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
make
we'll-
Shaggy
yeah.
invisible too,
Do we
and we'll
take the
just
box?
he'll just
Or
fly
the-
them out.
Yeah, how
It's true.
many charges of invisibility?
All 8, actually, in Jiri, that's a really good idea. Because I will make them all just cast invisibility on themselves so that they
Maintain their own concentration.
maintain their own concentration. Yes, yeah.
1
So
minute,
there's
right?
6 of them, and then we can get Shaggy
1 hour.
too.
Yeah, greater invisibility is 1 minute, but regular invisibility is, I think, an hour.
Oh yeah.
Hey, get me with it, and I'll go with them just to
Yeah,
make sure nothing goes wrong.
you know where that clinic was that, and I don't know if you could ferry them over there quickly, or at least get them on their way.
How far is
this-
the Tobirama Clinic from here? Because
But
we
they're
are up at
flying
the
on a
top
very
of-
fast magical carpet.
We're up here.
Yes, correct.
Clinic's down here.
Yep, it's a
180.
ways in the city, but
But Shaggy's really fast. But I say we do that, and we all get out of here and have Shaggy ferry us all up.
Can we just get them all out of the well, get them over the wall, and then we use the spell scroll in, or we use your recall spell in here to just get the fuck out?
We could do that.
All right, shorter trip, get them over the wall, one at a time, back and forth real
Yeah.
quick,
Yeah.
and then out of here.
I told
I will
them-
hand them all. I will hand them all a wand at some point and make them tap themselves to make themselves invisible.
and Jiri can do the same. Shaggy cannot cast spells, so someone maintains concentration on Shaggy's invisibility, but otherwise, 8 charges spent,
Before
8 invisible individuals are able to start the ferrying process.
I want to be there as like we're saying goodbye to them, and like specifically as we're giving them some of the gold, and just say, with what we've done here today, the House Scarlord here may not be ruined immediately. So, and I don't know if he personally saw to your imprisonment, but if you were captured once, you know to get as far away from here as possible. So use that gold to keep yourself safe.
They will sheepishly nod in acknowledgement and fearfully but eagerly clutch onto the gold.
And then I think final thing for Jiri to do as he helps them out, I will hand him the leather-bound tome and ask him after he takes the last person out to quickly fly to Kartasha's skull house, invisibly go inside, place it on the ground somewhere, and then come back.
I think Jerry's just gonna like chuck it through the window.
That'll work.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Ferrying and a small excursion over to Jay's house takes about 30 minutes total. Jiri's on his way back. All of you guys are collecting yourselves. Any final items of order before we all bounce out of this place?
I will
Yeah.
shut the vault door and reset it
Oh, I was gonna leave a note.
after Telperion leaves a note.
Take out a piece of parchment.
Jiri, do you want to fill the vault with water?
Then they'll know it's us.
Good
Okay.
answer.
What's your note, Telperion?
I'm just gonna write, how long can you keep this a secret? And leave it on the note in the vault before we lock it.
Badass.
Badass.
All right.
Shaggy and the
Tobirama, your
necklace.
allies are collected. Shaggy can occupy the necklace.
I don't know.
Okay.
I will cast Word of Recall Or
What
the six
about
of us here.
what about Shadow Moby Spectre?
He'll be fine. He'll get left.
I think he just like gets desummoned.
Teleport out of existence low for now. In this safe little demi-plane.
So it is just the 4 original Forsaken Winds, along with Kinsalo and Kellen, 6 individuals. Toby?
We
Wait,
will, in a flash of magic, suddenly appear in a graveyard in Ostennis.
Bye to Dano for now.
Swear to God, if this scroll is not in our fucking hands when we land.
You arrive in Ostennis, capital of Creatia, safely out of some rather sticky circumstances, though they didn't threaten your lives too much, but the stakes were still high for many involved parties. And you all look around, and there are just cool, comforting silver mists ambiently present in this graveyard that then immediately disapparate. It is the middle of the night, possibly past midnight. Cloudless sky, smattering of stars above, and you're pretty high up in the city at Cycles End Cemetery. Why didn't we do that on the way there? Kellen says.
You should have rid the Eagles right in.
Pat, pat, pat.
All right, Kellen, give me those boots back.
Whoa. See, the thing is, there's
there's
the
no
only
thing.
reason. No, see, the only reason I survived, I think, is because I had, the right gear.
It was all
Very
in your
well,
heart,
Kellen.
Kellen. It was you. Now give me the boots.
All right. Yeah. Catch me. Ignites Chardalon stride and bolts, and then he just stops 60 feet
Jesus.
away. Then he just stops and kind of slinks back, and fine. Jiri would have let me keep him.
No, haven't you
Kellen.
heard? Jerry's cooler than me.
Your mistake was coming back. You should have just kept running.
I know.
Kellen, it was a pleasure, and I wonder what you've learned from that expedition.
I think I'm invincible.
Yes.
That Vulture
Very
Rock,
wise.
I swear, I thought I was goner the first second it grabbed me, but then I was teleported away by Roulette, and then all through the Demir Manor, nothing really bad happened to me. I got hit a couple times by that creepy thing that I couldn't see, but that was easy.
Ignore that chat.
It was easy. Well, I'm glad you feel invincible after that.
But now that we're here and all, I may make my way back to, check on some of the Noras, maybe see what kind of new new digs they're setting up here in the city, check in with the Glass Guard, which now I am a part. So, you guys want to walk me there?
I give him a pat on the shoulder, and we start moving our way to a
For
good
your
place to.
safety, my friend, the Skull House and what happened there, that tale I'd keep quiet.
For now.
He eyes Jiri and says, I don't know, there was a lot of epic adventure had
Taking
there.
down a vampire lord's den is a fantastic tale to tell. It may just need to wait a bit before it is shared.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to hold off on that one.
Wait.
Release it when the time's right.
Damn it, I thought Jiri would be on my side for sure. on
You
that
gotta
one.
know when to hit
I
the
just would
right.
hate to find you a thrall in the Vampire Lord's basement because you told that story before we had gotten a chance to kill the Vampire Lord. Unless you thought
The
you could take him
story-
on.
Although being taken by a vampire lord's pretty epic too. And they
But
can't
the less
kill me
epic tale
since I'm
would be the end of all the
invincible.
kick-ass tales.
I'll think on it.
Listen.
Jiri, I'll take Jiri's advice the most seriously. So
Ellen, you gotta know the timing of a story. The world is not ready for that tale yet. It will be probably in like a week.
and Kinsalo actually chirps up. Speaking of accommodations for tonight, do you think there's room with the Noras or the Glass Guard for us to spend the night, or what are you guys all thinking?
We're gonna walk up to Elias' palace and expect her to give me a room.
There is no
Yeah, the palace that's famously still there.
What? Oh, where is she? Oh, fuck! Oh my god, it's been so long since we've been here. What,
Too
what,
soon.
It's been a week.
where would she be? Where would she be hanging out? Good point. Good point.
She showed you guys Gallus's old place that he had with his wife. I could swing by there, see if she would be there, but I doubt she'd be posting up there. She said she'd maybe make it a cornerstone of a new building, but
Where would my family be if they were still here? Would any of them still be here? Where would elves be if they were here?
go ahead and make a history check.
Nat 20. +7.
Wow. You would think they'd
I
probably
know where the
migrate
elves
or
are.
wherever their embassy, which has not been set up formally yet, but wherever they are collecting, and they would want to maintain some presence in here, not all dip back to the Emerin yet. The Ithilwinge have always liked to be, even when they've been interspersed throughout the Emerin, they like to be a coastal people if they can help it. So you think you might find them on the western side of the city.
I think I'll follow my nose to find if any of the Ithilwinge are here, as we'd find comfort with them, I'm sure. We don't know exactly where Elia would be. Would you all like
Yeah,
to join?
should we let Elia know we're back? Should we just sleep it off
There
and
likely
then
would
get
be
her?
someone in contact with her amongst my people, whoever the
Yeah.
most senior, if not like Minerva or my father, someone surely.
All right, yeah, let's check it out.
I am having a quick moment of thought, and I'm gonna ping Telperion. Isn't there still a very unknown, very capable spy in employ of Durast? Maybe it would actually be useful for us to spend the night somewhere without letting anyone know. This Duke figure we have heard about.
In that case, where's Kellen? Did we let him walk off? Well, does anyone know Kellen went with us?
Gesundheit. I do not.
Is Kellen still on the scene? He didn't walk off. He asked us
Yeah,
if
you
we
can you can look around and he's with you.
We're gonna
Actually,
we're gonna post up somewhere quiet tonight. I'll let Consalo, Kellen, you guys can check in with commanding officers tomorrow morning. Report back after we depart. But for tonight, if we could all lay low, that'd be great.
Fury, do you have a seeming on you?
Yes.
Could you just make us look like not us?
You can get wacky with it if you want.
No, sure, wacky's fine.
Whoa. Okay, here I go. And I'm gonna turn us all into what would it be sextuplets? We're all identical, but like minor detailed differences.
What's our average? Like, what?
Just, one of us has got like a freckle here and a wart there. You know what I mean?
But like, are we just humans? Like,
Uh,
just little men?
yeah, we're all humans. We're all dudes.
One actor we all look like, or just any one famous person?
What if we're just all the Weasleys? Just 6 ginger, freckled weirdos.
Sure. It's part of our backstory. People will think we're freaks, and then they'll forget about us.
Forget about us. Yeah, it's kind of nice. I forgot we're not in Dano. We don't have to like be terrified of every single person we meet. Yeah, even though they're terrified of us. So just like a regular old inn then, huh?
Yeah, let's go find a barracks or something where they're putting up the displaced from the invasion and just crash for them.
Right. All right.
Something mundane.
with minor investigative effort, you're able to find a spot like that. No gold required of you. It's still very much refugee mode throughout the city right now. And you are all able to escort Kellen back to, if you want to, the Glassguard barracks and
That'll
Nora
be
Fort that they're
tomorrow.
building.
That'll be a tomorrow.
Okay, so he'll stick with you for
Yeah.
today. But otherwise, you guys can get a night's rest
I
at
will
this
send
mundane.
one message before going to sleep.
Okay.
With my last spell slot of the day, I will send a message to Jay, and it will say, "I have left you Demir's ledger. He is a budding vampire lord, and now bereft of his largest cash. We'll follow up with you tomorrow."
Jerry says sorry about the window.
Jerry says sorry about the window, but that does make it to 30 words, and I don't think he hears them.
You hear a response back. Can't follow them directions, can you? But I can work with this, I suppose. I'll think on it. Good to see you, Tobe. And as you guys settle down to this inconspicuous, mundane location for a night of rest, you all level up to level 13!
Well-
Yo!
Which I know is somewhat unexpected, and we are going to close out Act 1 during level 13. The final Daynor push will likely be level 13 content.
I can
I
access
just
my
got
character.
smarter.
And I think it's a good opportunity. We should take a quick bio break.
Holy shit.
Yo.
It's
Yeah, I
so
got
funny going
pissed.
from we're about to level up and have a long, like not this session, like long rest, level up. Like I feel like we're about to be so powerful, but I'm also like, what do I squeeze out with one level 1 spell slot before bed? Like it's just like
Cool. All right. See you guys back here in a
Yeah.
minute.
+5 proficiency. That was loud. Okay. I'm saying no warden bomb. I disagree. No way. Bane, healing word. I really like Beacon of Hope, man.
I'm guessing the Discord sounds are intended to be Christmassy, but they still sound creepy, like Halloween.
Here's a list of spells you consult when you learn an Artificer spell. This list is organized by spell level, not character level. Each spell is one asterisk or two asterisks. So, Telperion, I think, is the only one who can cast Teleportation Circle. Teleportation Circle. Or
Roulette, probably, right?
No, not Roulette, but or Jiri. Artificer not on the list.
Wow. That's crazy.
Or we could have gotten a wizard here to cast it for us, I guess, but... I gotta summon my Coatl today. Before that is no longer what Conjure Celestial does.
That's funny.
+5 proficiency. I can recall 3rd level spells now with Channel Divinities.
Nice.
That's huge. I got crazy good saving throws. I've got a 30 passive perception. Fuck, yes. Features and traits. Anything else? I don't think so. My Paragon gets better. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Level 4 spells.
Yo, I forgot about that.
That's
Level
wild.
4 spells. More things to change the wording on.
Level
It's been so long since we
spells.
leveled up. I feel like we're not good enough to level up anymore. It's like, oh, we don't get level up anymore. Feels like I don't deserve it.
Imposter syndrome.
Exactly.
We are welcome to take some time and sit through a level up little experiment, or we can just continue with some minor other prep stuff, knowing that the level up shouldn't be crucial to the rest of the session. I don't think. So you guys let me know, but
And I do just have a hard cutoff at 3.
Maybe the level paying, but also I always like taking my time, and I don't know if people are like, I want to get moving with the next thing. So
Do you get a feat?
Telperion
do I
does
keep-
have an ASI, so yeah, you can take a feat.
is my PB gonna go up?
Yes.
Yep.
Because that's universal level.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
And-
Okay,
and
so
just
I've
as
got
an
2 more
extra-
side-eye.
And as an extra clarification, we're still not on 2024 rules yet.
Right.
So this is still 2014. Depending on how long Durast Daynor stuff goes, maybe we level up after that, or maybe that stuff gets resolved halfway through level 13, and then we revamp our level 13 characters under 2024. We'll see how it goes, but we'll keep it organic.
Great. Is the feat ready in the thing?
I do think it's in a good spot. I do need to refresh my
Select it.
memory on exact language.
If I select it and you say within the next 2 weeks I'm changing it a little, I would not. I don't care. Like, that's fine if you want to still like say it's not fully balanced yet, but I can have it on the sheet.
I think that is pretty where my head's going to be at, like language tweaks. The one important thing we need to clarify is I think I'm interested. Well, we'll have to potentially rebuild it. counterspell of it all is worth clarifying.
Well, I think with 2024, if we're switching the spells, I'm okay. Like, I think the discussion is like in general, 2024 spells is like we're switching almost every spell in the game to the 2024 version. In which case, I think my ability would just be rewritten with that. So I'm on that same page.
Yeah. Which is funny because one thing that has been on the table before is a Hero's Feast given to you guys. 2024 Hero's Feast is just worse than the original 2014 one is slightly, but still. And it's just like, ooh, randomly it's just going to get worse when you do it, next level or whatever. But
well, I mean, theoretically, the nerfs are for balance purposes, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, there's not a lot of spells where the core fun function of it changed for the worse, I don't think.
Correct. But I think the Hero's Feast now, you still have immunity to the poison condition, but you only have resistance to poison damage instead of immunity to poison damage, as well as it just does not give you advantage on whiz saves anymore. But all the other features are in there still, but I guess they thought it was too strong or something, but I don't know.
I mean, how often are people buying
if it's one of those spells where most parties cast it before they go to their boss fight, like,
yeah,
I don't know. Did Toby do you have access to that next level?
I have access to it before this level. It's a 6
it's just expensive too.
It's just expensive. 1,000 gold per, which I feel like is very appropriate to give wisdom save advantage. But I can just do Beacon of Hope, which
Is it cost the same still? Sorry, I shouldn't keep us off topic.
I would assume so.
Telperion, I think I'm comfortable with the final language I had previously settled on, where you can totally add that to your list if you want. And I think it's the way it's worded also does facilitate that. Technically, right now it's 2014 counterspell, but when we switch, it'll be 2024 counterspell.
Yeah.
So.
It is still 1,000 gold per Hero's Feast. Should I prepare Word of Recall for this upcoming day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we might get stuck there. Like, we kill Zavar. We're still in an enemy city with an enemy army, like the capital. I mean, we theoretically need to get into whatever his core rooms are in Moira's lab. Like, those are the two destinations. But being able to lock ourselves in one of those spaces and then exit it through a portal, seems pretty vital.
I will remember that. Also, I imagine this teleportation might get us started in Moira's lab or somewhere adjacent to it.
Well, that would be fucking sweet.
So
but also,
I'm actually potentially interested in giving us a small or a meaningful buff, but not too big of a resource for me right before we do it.
Because we might go through that and be swinging spells and
yeah.
The question is, do we want to go invisibly through the portal, or is the portal going to strip whatever, and then we need to invisible up after the portal? I mean, we have to long rest before we go. We are long resting.
I think we are.
For sure. Yeah.
In the
so, Steve, are you in spell picking mode, Sven? Or he's looking at the spells for level 4? So right now in this short rest or long rest, we're doing Roulette's just like looking like that at her spell book, right?
It's like I found a new notebook and I'm like, whoa!
You're brain blasting right now.
I did one of those things where, like it's like a kid's decoder where like it's a circular wheel but it's like my notes, and I found a new combination and I was like, wait, what? I found a new mathematical operation of like how to make 2 and 2 5.
Roulette falls asleep with her eyes open tonight.
Mostly the biggest thing I'm confused by right now, and I don't want to say it out loud because I feel like this might be a Christopher. No, I have 2 spells that are marked as always prepared from level 4 that I don't think I should have.
It's one of them is healing spirit or something, right?
Aura of Purity?
I don't remember the Aura of Purity one, but there was a time when I remember you requested,
Oh
hey,
no, so
can we do these spells on my list instead of these? Because I'm never going to use that. That steps on this player's toes. So I just want to make these spells that I will justify casting. And I kind of said, yeah.
You are
that's warding. So that's warding bond.
Battlesmith.
So warding bond, we marked it as unavailable. That's when we swapped out for healing spirit.
Aura of Purity
Yeah,
and
that's
Fire
one.
Shield.
I'm sorry. What was that, MK?
Aura of Purity and Fire Shield.
Where are you seeing that?
Maybe
I'm
those are
looking at
auto
the
prepared on the
Artificer.
Battlesmith.
It's from the Battlesmith subclass. You get auto prepared spells each time you get new spell levels.
Okay, so
Oh.
you have those auto prepared. Yeah, there you
So
go.
those are new for this level up.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
That's a good feeling. Tim, what are you getting right now?
I get one level 7 spell.
Ooh.
Are you the only-
And I'm
oh,
gonna
I
be
guess Toby gets that too.
Which I guess, do you need to lock yourself into Dream of the
Whoa.
Blue Veil right now?
Whoa.
No, I'm not gonna be taking
Yeah,
it right now.
Yeah, definitely don't worry about that. We can also just justify as you're experimenting with a spell or whatever later.
I will be taking Crown of Stars.
Yo.
Solely because
that
it
spell.
works,
That was a Minerva spell. I liked.
it works with Shaggy. That's the only reason I'm taking it.
Oh hell
It's
yeah!
a self spell. Yo.
Shaggy's
shit,
about to
that's-
have a use for his bonus action.
Oh my god, dude, that's so crazy.
That's pretty wild.
You can use
Oh my
it
god,
as
this
a-
one looks so sweet. He's got. I can't wait to see what he fires out.
It's gonna be like an Oni crown, right? Because doesn't what's
like,
his
where's
name?
his head?
Hyperival have a 7-pointed crown?
He does have 7-star point, or he's got 7. They look like horns, but then you guys in the legend lore saw that it's just points of a crown, but not necessarily like motes of starlight. However you want to.
Yeah, well, that's how I'm gonna flavor it.
that.
Is it's like
Okay. Oh
the
yeah,
Oni
that's
crown.
sick.
But what part of Shaggy is its head that gets the crown?
This
Oh,
is like an
shit.
experiment. Like if Shaggy was to wear pants, you ever see those memes online? Would it be like
Have a horse.
the rug
Yeah.
like this, or is it the rug sideways to the bottom half?
Part of me wonders if just the tassels get the motes or something. That's a fun, creative challenge.
He gets like spots. You know what I mean? Like he gets 7 stars.
I am really pumped
that's like-
about the 7th level spell,
Everybody.
Divine Word. Because I think we're
Why?
about to run into some fiends. It's a bonus action. I do it. Any number of creatures within 30 feet of me that I choose have effects bestowed upon them dependent on hit points. But regardless of hit points, Fae, Fiend, Elementals, Celestials are forced back to their home plane for 24 hours by any means short of a wish spell. So, like,
Oh my God.
if Moira has some fiendish baddies around, I can potentially.
Or is
banish
herself
them.
a fiend?
Well, yeah, I don't want to just ignore her for a day. I'd rather kill her. But
Well, yeah, but if we're fighting Zavar trying to kill him and she's in our way, like, I'd love to kill her, but also, like, sending her to another plane
killing
is
one at a
definitely
time
despite her
is definitely
plans.
preferable.
She might honestly rather die than get sent back to her plane. We don't know.
We do still have the Magebane poison, which would be really good against her.
Yeah, I can't put it on my sword.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I can put it on a sliver, or
True.
any of us can swing that.
Jiri
Well,
has
actually,
the best
no.
chance to hit.
The Mage
right?
Bane has to be ingested, so it has to go in the ring and be punched on her. So,
Okay.
as
True.
the
That's
best,
true.
as the one with the best unarmed attack, because it's just strength, it's almost like should Mike be wearing the band of contingency for this fight?
Yeah, let me
I don't
read
know.
this. You can touch a creature within reach as a bonus action, speaking its command word to administer the effects of one of the ring stored. There's nothing about an unwilling creature in there. It's just you touch a creature and use a bonus action. You have the most movement, or Jiri does.
Wait, no, crit has to rule in on that because we've done this historically where it was an attack roll.
I think so too. Let me check real quick.
Yes, I'm.
'Cause if it's not,
I'm
that would
definitely
change
open to
things.
that.
But I think it's because it's an enemy who's trying to avoid you, not an ally who you just touch.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
when I
Or
have,
even
when you guys
yourself, where
automatically
you just
fail.
touch.
It's like when you guys fail one of my pulls. An enemy has a chance to resist it since it's a homemade thing. Was our OG logic.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is I do wish I had bound rules within the language of the item, because I know we have handled it like that in the past, and there's no way I'm going to just make a gut call now and have it perfectly
Sure.
align with that previous call. So it's going to be a new custom call, but I do agree you got to try and hit an evasive creature that doesn't want it.
It's definitely
applied.
probably gonna be what we try to use for the Magebane poison. It does
Yeah.
take up an attunement slot, which is meaningful.
And Kinsala has to give it up.
Yeah, we're getting our goodies
So-
back from them.
If she shields or counterspells, if she doesn't shield, we have a better chance of getting it on her. So it's like if she counterspells, it would be a really great follow-up for whoever has the ring to try to punch her with that potion right after she's wasted a reaction. One of the only ways we can really hope to pin her down with it. The good news is if it misses, I don't think the poison's extracted because the band doesn't.
I
even connect.
totally agree with that. Yeah, if it doesn't even connect, yeah, you're not wasting the poison. But I do think, yeah, unarmed strike is the correct.
I definitely
application
don't
there.
have good movement, but my Mantle of Sorcery only regained 1 charge, so it's like not super great for me today. So I'm down
Well, you
to
straight up
lose
also-
an attunement.
Well, oh, I see. But you punching her is not going to be very effective. Like, what would that even be?
Again,
Plus 1.
we just don't know what his ruling is going to be and like how that's going to
I
be.
do think it will be unarmed strike based.
Okay.
I have a +5 on that, and none of you guys are like Roulette's the closest. But Roulette, what's your unarmed strike? Because you don't.
I think everyone's proficient with unarmed strike.
So
Okay.
Jerry would be good because he has a good strength now.
Oh, that's right, Jerry.
Yuri
What are-
can use the Eldritch Fist Wraps to let him use charisma for his unarmed strikes.
Ooh.
Brother,
True,
oh my
too.
god.
Would you,
He
is
also
there
has
an
a strength
attunement
of
slot
20
you're
right now.
willing to
He
work
also
with?
does already have a strength of 20 anyway. His charisma is just 22.
19, unfortunately.
Oh, that's right.
Are you
For now,
willing
until
to-
I get my hands on a giant belt.
Are you willing to have the contingency band attuned? It's just
I honestly think it would be better on
Telperion.
Telperion.
I mean,
Yeah.
an hour is a long time to set aside, but changing attunements isn't unreasonable within the span of a day.
We're going thing. We can.
I feel like Telperion's better at like swapping up his what he's attuned to. I feel like he's not married to anything, whereas like Jerry's got like stuff
Okay.
that he's pretty like
I mean, I'm
bound
also.
to.
I do agree with that, and I can do it in this fight. Though my attunement swapping, I got to keep on the Yukata. I got to keep my sword, so I'd be giving up the Staff of Golden Flame for this, which like maybe I wasn't going to take into the fight anyway.
Which
but
is kind of like mainly save DC bump for you is kind of the best part of it, right?
well,
aside from
yeah,
the
but
uses
also I
of
was
it,
thinking
but-
about this is something where like I don't know if the boots were going to be helpful in this fight. I just would be approaching a boss fight. Oh, my Staff of Defense making me tankier for this fight. I'll be giving up against Zavar, which isn't nothing because I'll be a little more fragile without shield. I mean, actually, no, I know shield. I can shield with spell slots. I can do it if you don't want to, Jerry.
Yeah, I'd
'Cause
say
you
it's
have,
better
your
with you.
sword Okay.
I
I'll
feel like
take
you're
it.
better. Telperion's better suited for the maneuverability of getting in
Okay.
close because I don't know
I
if
got
I'm
you.
going to be up close or if I'm going to be far away, depending on the circumstance.
Okay, I'll take it. What's in it though?
There's an elixir of health in it and a greater healing potion in it.
Fuck yeah. Okay,
So
that's
there's
great.
An empty
I'll
slot
make that
for
work.
the mage vein poison. I will
Which I
then
have.
stay. I'm gonna get rid of the contingency band for my, or I'm just gonna unequip it.
Well, Toby, if you want to use the Staff of Golden Flame for the fight, Radiant Fire might be good. And plus, it will buff your spell
I
save.
can't have both. I can't have 2 spell casting focuses, and my medallion is going to probably awaken and become a +2.
Oh,
So I definitely don't think
Roulette?
I need that.
Queen of Attunement slots, Roulette? Do you want to have the staff so you can have a free wall of fire and free fireballs with Radiant and it busts your spell save? Someone's got to use this legendary item against Savar, is all I'm saying.
This is that big old staff thingy.
This is the Rome staff, so it has 10 charges that you can use for Produce Flame for free, Burning Hands, Fireball, Wall of Fire, and you can buff it. You can do an extra charge to make it Radiant, not fire damage, and it buffs your spell save by 2.
Yeah,
Or
give
something.
me.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
radiant. It just overcomes resistance to fire.
Oh, sorry.
I
get
feel
that
like
wrong?
we've consistently munched that up. But yeah, take that staff if you want to roulette.
Oh, what is it called?
The Staff of Golden Flame.
Oh, what do I drop now?
Whatever's green.
My winged boots.
Oh, it's just that the fire becomes gold. That's why I always picture it as radiant damage. And then you get resistance to fire and radiant damage, which is funny because Steve doesn't need resistance to fire.
Yes, I do, because my Wormhide, the breastplate is the thing that gives me the resistance, but it also gives me advantage, or... Hold
On
on.
draconic shit.
Oh, and we're facing a Wyvern. I don't know.
I have advantage on the Frightful Presence, but I can... Okay, nope, we're dropping the breastplate, and I will add the... What is it? The Staff of Golden Flame?
Correct.
Yeah.
Cute!
Yeah. If we could have
And-
setup time, I feel like that would like make or break this fight. So like definitely priority is to figure out how we can kind of like get set up before we start the battle.
So I think
would
I'm
be pretty
gonna
sweet.
fairly consistently try and have Beacon of Hope on us, which will max all healing we receive, and give us advantage on Wisdom saving throws, which I think helps with that fearful presence you were worried about, Roulette. If like frightened effects,
Yeah.
hold person effects. That's probably I'm gonna be able to twin. I'm thinking of twinning Warding Bond to help buff the tankiness of 2 of you.
If you wanted to drop your sorcery mantle, since you don't have a lot of charges, you could put on Roulette's worm resistance thing, which could be helpful in this fight.
Oh, what is that?
Wormhide breastplate.
That's
WYRM.
actually very fascinating.
It's
This is fun.
it's a +1 item, so you get 17 AC.
Breastplate. Is that medium armor? Yes,
It is medium armor. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is like a screen of Baldur's Gate or some video game where it's like, after this
like
day,
it.
you will not be able to go back. This will bring us to the conclusion of Act 1. Make any final preparations now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, I would like.
And that could be 2 sessions or 8, or we'll see. But yeah.
That's a good
Go.
point, Telperion. So I am gonna unattune the Mantle of Sorcery and attune this.
You will not be able to wear your Elven Chain at the same time
Correct.
as Wormhide Breastplate, but
Correct.
that shouldn't affect you negatively.
I'm still gaining an AC from it, so that's nice. I'll feel better if I don't have my shield out.
Are you're taking the breastplate?
I'm happy to if you're not going to be wearing it.
I am not actively wearing it, so that is all yours, and that's weird to get rid of.
What's your armor going to be that you're wearing? You were attuned to it, but actually, like, do you have breastplate?
I have Elven Chain +1 that you can wear.
Oh,
I
that's
think
swappy.
Roulette can
It's-
maybe whip up an infusion like real quick
Plus 2
for a
armor.
custom new infusion.
No,
You're just leveling up right now. You can change your
I am-
infusions.
Oh, actually, I should confirm how many infusions I have, because I don't think that number changes right now. Level 13. No, we're still at 8 and 4, and all my infusions are counted. What, Michael?
At level up, you could change out some infusions right now.
Correct, but all 4 of them are already spoken for with my. And I'm actually just gonna review that really quick. One of them is Jiri.
let's do that.
One of them is Jiri's arm.
Thank you.
Uh
I think one of them's a spell storing ring for Jiri too, right?
oh, actually,
I don't have that anymore.
And then, and then winged boots and something.
I
Yeah,
have.
you took
I have an
that. Totally
infused. Is anyone holding a +2 shield right now?
I don't
No.
think so.
Okay, I've got a +2 shield in my backpack that I'm not actively using.
You can't with. Oh yeah, you have to drop that.
Correct. So
You can make
That
a +2 armor.
I can just make +2 armor.
which is better than my +1 chainmail.
Correct. So I will,
T-shirt.
and I think I have leather armor. Armor.
I mean, we're in
I'm
Daynor.
sure you could
We're in
leather
Stennis.
or light or medium, I'm
You
sure.
could probably go
We
buy
can also-
a set
yeah,
of armor
if you
from
need-
something.
Yeah, we can get the glass guard and take some armor if you want it. Rather than you put +2 on.
I will procure a set of what's the best medium armor I can get? Is it studded leather? Because that's what I
Or
started
half
with.
plate.
Medium is half plate, although that would impose disadvantage on stealth. Breastplate is the best you can get that doesn't impose disadvantage on stealth.
Would
But
be
half
okay.
plate is a standard 15 plus dex, so likely +2 unless you have a 12 dex.
So I will procure a medium breastplate as just a replacement for the, because I realized I was wearing the wormhide one, but I was not attuned to it.
So just not
Yeah.
benefiting from its features. Gotcha.
So I will, if possible, try and procure a just medium breastplate from somewhere.
I will say, I'm curious what you guys want to do through this day, but if you can tell me that you're gonna go interact with Elia at some point, she will make sure to outfit you with a breastplate.
Do we want to tell people we're here, or are we keeping this a secret for the moment?
I was actually curious
Yeah.
about this crit because well, no, I was thinking about contacting Elia today, so that's not outside the realm of what we want to do if we're sitting here for a little bit before we go. Because we also, like, theoretically, we're still we're long resting right now, so we're gonna have to decide do we want to teleport the second our long rest is over? Do we want to do things today and then go at night? Like, we got to talk about time of attack. So
Yep.
if in the course of tomorrow we want to do that, I'll happily just use disguise self and go because I want to talk to her or just check in.
You're already disguised.
That's
Well,
true.
right now we're at an inn because it was midnight.
Yeah,
So
not
you-
even an inn, a refugee shelter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right now we're just whispering in a refugee shelter. Kind of a humbling, interesting place for us to have gone, and actually such a good plan, MK, for if there was a magical tail on us, we're somewhere definitely no one would think to look for us.
Last night this night I have no spell slots left, so I cannot recharge my Ring of Misdirection.
I have a level 1 slot for you if you want.
I need 6 levels worth of slots.
I can't put in one for you to start it.
No.
All right,
And,
sorry.
and I still have 5 left. It was fully refreshed, so I'm not too worried about it.
We need invisibility in the wand.
I have 2 potions of invisibility. I have a spell scroll of invisibility. I have a spell scroll of silence. That one's actually very interesting, and I may be whipping that out in a Moira.
Can you cast that?
Can I what?
You can cast that.
Yes, and I could even just prepare the spell, but
I think one of us non-casters should have that a potion of invisibility, like someone who can't give it to themselves in a pinch, like me, maybe, or Jerry. We don't know. Because if we're in a pinch, Roulette's holding the wand.
we also have a big invisible container, or a big container of invisible stuff.
That's true. Yes,
So-
where you got it from the robe container in Skullord Demir's meditation chamber. There were 2 potions of invisibility and 1 larger, seemingly potion of
So I'd love
invisibility,
to
which-
maybe ritually identify that at some point. If that's
To
something,
identify it right now.
if that's something Roulette can facilitate, and if not, no biggie. I mean, I'm guessing it's a potion of greater invisibility, probably.
I'm not preparing that today, so I didn't have it last night.
I always have my rituals prepared all the time now, so I can do that right now.
You have identify?
In my rituals, in my spellbook, yeah.
Fuck yeah, identify it.
So it's I never have to choose to prep it. I can't, but I can do it. Ritual.
Potion of greater invisibility.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so that's one person.
So that is a
Dude.
bonus action, non-concentration required, greater invisibility.
Non-concentration required. Telperion. I feel
You're not casting the spell.
I feel like that has
So
got your name on it, Telperion.
I could
Yeah,
like
especially
I
with
think-
the ring.
yeah. I mean, give me.
Could
Yeah, I'll
do
take
it with
that.
a ring. It's a bonus action either way, honestly, because swigging a potion's a bonus action. But
Yeah,
yes,
critter. What is it? It's either way bonus action.
yeah. Either way, bonus action.
Holy
Potion
shit.
of
No, what I'm saying is, or what I think he was saying with the ring, is if I have the ring, I can go in and punch her with the Mage Bane.
with advantage or
Yeah,
something, and
from invisibility.
Well, and I have my stealth boots on, so I think I actually do have advantage on. I do have advantage on stealth,
but you
despite
would
my
have
armor.
You would have advantage on the attack as an unseen attacker.
And it won't go away if I miss, and she won't be able to
Target
spell
you
me
with
if she can't
sight
see me.
spells.
So I would also say,
Ooh,
that,
could
like,
you opportunity attack with it?
yes.
Oh, with the unarmed
You
strike
chose to
contingency
flee?
band.
It's funny. It's funny how long ago I wrote the rules of that thing, bastardizing the original source of the rules from it. And I really wish I was just a young DM in those days. I really wish I had better refined some of the language now, because now I would have said as either an action or a bonus action on your turn, or like I would have clarified some things to remove ambiguity here.
I mean, I'll personally just say, if you wanted to say, hey guys, I'm updating an item now that we're deeper in a campaign and I know better, like, if you ever think of balance, like, I won't mind if you want to fiddle with that. Having bought the item, and it's just
I
like,
would say at bare minimum, the intended benefit of the item was be able to hit yourself or an ally as a bonus action. So swigging a drink yourself is already a bonus action, but administering a potion tells someone else is an action, but this does it faster. That's the intended benefit. It wasn't intended for use against me, but I love that affect, and so I think it's just tied to unarmed strike, which you can also do as a bonus action with this ring, because that's within the language of it. But you could also do it with regular attack action unarmed strikes. So that's where my head's at right now.
Joe.
Unless people think of other things for me to concentrate on, I do think I will plan on most of the time having Beacon of Hope concentrated on. So your second win will be max all the time. Roulette, any healing you do will be max all the time. We don't have to use an action for healing potions. We will just get the max from the bonus action one. That's what I'm planning on.
Wait, hang on. Okay, we gotta paint the scene here. We're gonna teleport in. We're gonna need invisibility to get out of the whatever small teleport room that we go to, likely. We will quickly need to get to one of two places after we assess where one of the two characters are. Where are Moira? Where is Zavar? How close are we to Zavar's location or Moira's lab? We don't know anything about this castle. Can we get schematics? Do we have a prisoner to interrogate? We might want to know how
you know someone who has spent time in the prisons beneath Talonreach.
We all look at Jerry.
Tell us about this place.
What do I
You're
remember?
reading, Jerry.
Jerry looks back into his memory and finds.
Now that some of your fractured memories have been somewhat restored, at least a little bit with regard to that time before your break and fusing with the hex metal, you remember you were kept in a line of about 12 specialty prison cells. This isn't the large Daynor prison facility. These are specialty prisons for Moira's use and experimentation and interest. So there's a wing that includes 12 specialty prisons. There's essentially there's an important 4-way cross section that happens within the prisons beneath Talonreach. There's the specialty prisons, Moira's lab, another corridor you never went through, and then another corridor that has stairs leading up into the palace proper.
Ooh. I was in special prison, guys. Probably because I was so dangerous.
Hey, we haven't finished long resting. Can I use my detect thoughts now?
Sure.
I want to detect thoughts, and as Jerry could show me the visual layout of that place, so then I could come out of it, and I'll use a silent image to show everybody, and we could like Shalon, maybe I shouldn't say that, like a map
Shalon and Dalinar map hologram,
like a projected map.
Oh yeah, that was sick in Oathbringer. Yeah, that's really cool. You guys have, to some degree, tried this before in Jiri's Mindscape, and it's at least difficult to achieve. So, Jiri, I will need, or actually, Telperion, DC versus check.
Oh, and still have the staff attuned yet because we haven't switched. Like,
yeah, but this. Oh, yeah.
Just in case that helps
That's
with
another
DC.
thing. Yeah, that's just another thing we need to clarify at some point is the staff does not benefit your psionic DCs, but technically detect thoughts is a spell you're casting, so that's fine. It's just weird that that's the case with Mind Sliver and that, and then I'm proposing something else with this new feat. But anyway, I think I need a combined check total is how I did that in the Jiri Mindscape. So I need Telperion and intelligence check, and I need Telperion intelligence and Jiri charisma check. If this check adds up to 30 successfully, Jiri can successfully impart visual understanding of his thoughts.
Can anyone guide me, MK?
If I see you attempting something, I will come over and help you with that.
Thanks for help, because I know I'm about to concentrate, and I'm trying to think about, like, okay, what aids me in this concentration?
Yeah, that's fine.
I have Kiramar out. I don't know if I just like
that will boost. Yeah, Kiramar. Oh,
I don't think it boosts.
no, that's
I don't
psionic DC. The
Yeah.
Kiramar is tied to psionics. The Golden Flame is tied to spells. Never
This is-
will they
it's neither are
overlap,
tied.
but in vibe, some of them are overlapping, but never in function.
Yeah, so there's really nothing else I can do to buff my roll here. So let's roll. Yeah. I rolled a 6, 7, 8, 9. Intelligence check plus 3 is
Exactly 12.
12 plus 18 is 30. So Jiri is able to describe for you the environment. I would show you maps, but I'm not at liberty to show those to you at this time.
So what I do.
What if I hid everything on GM layer? That'd be a fun way to do it. Give me a second.
While he's working on that, do we care for me to have scrying today?
Dude, scrying is super vital.
It is, but it's long. They can resist. They're going to have good saves against it, probably.
10 minutes to check. Well, wait. Coda had the really crazy high wisdom. Moira might have high wisdom, but we don't know that Zavar does.
Sure.
And we might need to know where they are,
I
because
think
we're
we
literally going to
expect
kill Zavar.
Moira to have good mental saves, is what I'm expecting.
Yeah, as a
Wisdom,
wizard.
intelligence, charisma. I expect her to be good at all of those.
But I'd say Zavar's probably good. And also Zavar's dragon, where they are together. Also, can you do a place? Could you do Moira's light lab, having a visual of or described to you?
Maybe.
This is fun. I hope I didn't fuck anything up.
We should all look away first and let him incorporate it, see if it's what he wants.
Yeah. I agree.
I need my DM to be on it at all times. My eyes are peeled. We're gonna test him. High stakes.
Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom out, zoom out.
Stone shape has also been useful before for random holes in walls.
Dude, having a 1 foot wall of stone between us and our goal is like, it's just agony when it's like all we need is to like have a little burrow. We need a little team gopher.
That was Rome.
I know, we miss her.
Mass cure wounds. Mass healing word. I have healing word. I'm not gonna take cure wounds. I am preparing silence.
And what level 7 spells are you thinking about?
That's what I need.
Conjure, Celestial, and Divine Word.
Crown of Stars.
Crown of
Oh,
Stars.
Crown of
for
Stars.
Jiri.
What was your second one, Toby?
Divine Word,
Oh, the cool heal thing.
which is like it's a cool banish /
Oh, that one.
debuff on a bunch of people as a bonus action. It's pretty circumstantial, but I think today is the day where those circumstances will be relevant. And if not, then I have a Kuatl I can summon and aid us, who has a very cool stat block.
Okay, Telperion, let's see if this lets me do it. Did it change
And
your screen
Jerry.
at all? Yes, and Jerry. Damn it. It like ruined the functionality of dragging individual players' awareness into things. I know they didn't remove that. They just changed the way it works. All right. I'm just going to move everyone there, and I'm going to ask that everyone not named Telperion or Jiri close their eyes for a moment.
Well, okay.
I'm
Because I was
switching
going to come out and then make a visual with silent image of this so that I could show them.
Yeah, but how many silent images do you have? Like one for 1 minute?
Silent image is 10 minutes, and you can keep changing it every 6 seconds. So I can like have a like scrolling view of what I saw.
Okay. Okay. That's great then. Let's give you
I'll-
guys an awareness of what Jiri was aware of.
I'll double check that real quick. But
I'm still gonna look away until we have.
yeah, it's 10 minutes of
confirmed it's
concentration. You create the image of an object or creature or some other visible phenomenon no longer than a 15-foot cube. The image appears at a spot within range and lasts for the duration. And then you can use your action to cause the image to move to any spot within range. As the image changes, you can alter its appearance so it looks natural if you want it. Anyway.
Okay. Give me a second here. To do one more thing again. This is kind of fun. We're really setting the board.
It's a fun way to have done that.
Okay. I think everything on here is hidden successfully. All right. So screen number 1, the specialty prisons.
I see a lot of black.
Yep.
Oh, in the middle.
Intentionally.
Okay.
There is Jiri might not have full awareness of like what was behind. There's a wooden door over here with
Okay.
some sort of small room behind it. There's a wooden door over here with some sort of small
Oh,
room
wait.
behind it.
Critter,
But otherwise, yeah.
Really quick. Nobody move your own character in case you move beyond a wall, unless Critter, you're allowing us to move to a specific. spot.
I don't want anyone moving anything. I'll manipulate the characters on this
Okay.
screen. But in theory, a wooden door with a room beyond it, wooden door with a small room beyond it. The most important thing here is there's sort of a jailer's table who might be sort of a post for someone staying at front of house, so to speak. Then there is a series of iron cell bars here, availing access to the rest of the prison space. And then it is a 2x6 grid of specialty prison cells. In theory,
Whoa.
with some people in them.
It's interesting because
Scene number 2 coming up here shortly.
I want to like point at where those rooms are. It's interesting because we might be seen if we're in the prison, in which case they would report out who they saw, unless we like also freed them. Because theoretically, anyone held prisoner here is dangerous or beneficial to Moira in some way. Could cause
So,
chaos.
scene number 2, Moira's lab.
Whoa. I don't see any blackness, so I'm now looking away from the screen.
Nothing is intended to be blackness, or there's no dynamic lighting on this map. It is all open.
Whoa.
Wow.
My
Really?
God.
This is a sick map.
Oh my God, there's going to be so many things we could accidentally trigger in there.
I'm so scared of where this scroll takes us.
I don't like this one's broken. Like Mewtwo in a jar when he broke out.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Telperion's silent image has extended past its 10-minute duration, and now you understand the scenes. At least 2 of which that Jiri has experienced, and the corridors that connect them. But you didn't go up the stairs into the keep proper, nor did you go through the other corridor that you don't quite know what that is yet.
How did Rome disrupt the stuff at Lux Monastery? Did she use stone shape? Did she use plant growth? She like really messed up, like I think the teleportation
Wall of
circle
stone.
sigil on the ground.
I think she did
I-
Wall of Stone, right?
I think wall of stone or stone shape or something. She like permanently altered the stonework there.
Because I'm wondering if stone shape that I have would be able
For
to
stone shape?
facilitate
Yeah,
that as
maybe.
well. Because stone shape's just like a 5x5 thing. So like a
You
one
also
square
know
thing.
though it was also, and this was clarified at the time, Lux Monastery wasn't a place she had
Right.
posted up in for long. So it was a very quick and dirty teleportation circle where most teleportation circles in like a mage's tower, you probably can't just go in there and with a 4th-level spell destroy it in a
Yeah.
wave of a hand. It probably is magically enhanced and resilient. But that was possible at Lux Monastery.
So one thing we should wonder is we might not have a lot of time in Moira's lab. What could we steal that would be beneficial to us, detrimental to her? What could we break that would be beneficial to us for her not to have, detrimental for her to lose? Our ability to assess those things quickly will be really important.
From what we understand, her like dread iron is kind of her primary project right now.
What about blood? If we find any blood in there, we should take it.
Take it or just like shatter it and like whatever vial it's in. and
I
then
don't
spell
know.
it.
I think take it so if we can dispense of it in a way that she couldn't benefit. Do we know she has Roulette blood?
Roulette, are they aware that she has your blood?
Ooh.
I'm trying to think back to Lux Monastery. You all know she has more of Jiri's blood, but I don't quite recall. I think Roulette was the only person in the room for the deal she made to, hey, let me read your journal if you can have a vial of my blood.
I have
think it's
sympathy
up
for
to-
that.
It's up to Roulette whether or not any of you know she has Roulette's blood.
I don't think I would have kept that secret at any point during the conversations about talking about blood and all that other stuff.
Okay, that's fair
Um,
game. Then that information's available to all of you.
So do I need to twin protection from evil and good on you too, so that she doesn't
Corrupt
to
us.
corrupt you with your blood?
Great question.
The target can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by fae, fiends, undead, celestials, elementals, etc. If they are already charmed, frightened, or possessed, they get advantage on any new saving throw. I am not gonna plan to twin it, but I will prepare it. And what will I get rid of for
Oh.
that? I guess
Do we have
insight
like
would be-
potions or scrolls of protection from good and evil for this exact occasion?
Oh, snap. I get another spell. Ooh.
Oh, you're up to 3 5th-level spells now?
Yeah, I get another one.
Oh, I thought you
Oh,
already
I have
had
a-
that.
shit.
I have 2 spell scrolls of Dispel Magic.
That's
as a
super
note.
good. If we
And then
did
I-
have a protection from evil and good, it has been since used or sold or something.
I'm gonna
Or
check my
'cause
spells.
I don't have it.
I thought I bought some of these for this exact occasion.
I am gonna undo.
Does Kellen still has my ring of feather falling?
I believe that is true, yes.
Can we
So Kellen,
plan to just
Fortunately,
take
gonna have
all
to
of
take that back
their
too.
stuff back that we lent them?
Yeah, that's a bummer. Kinsalo is eager to hang on to the Cloak of Griffin's Rebuke at the very least, if that's available for him to hang on to.
How could I say no
Yeah.
to you, my man?
There it is. So that is the one piece that will retain with the wearer.
It looks good on you.
Otherwise, Kinsalo had a ring of protection, contingency
Kellen had
band,
a cloak of protection,
the
Charlon's
Charlon's boots.
and
I think that's
which
my
are
ring of
not
protection,
which are
but
not
I'll-
called that, by the way. But yes,
Yeah,
even I
yeah.
refer to them as that
boots of
now.
boost and blaze. Or
There you go. Yep.
I think I'll
and
probably.
he gives Roulette back the golden sliver.
Oh yes, that too.
Cinder Sliver.
Does anyone have need of my ring of protection? Because I might just tell Kinsella to hang on to it.
I am capped on my attunements. I cannot make room. for
Same.
it.
Yeah. I'll clasp his hand and tell him the ring looks good on you. Hold on to that for now as well.
Ooh.
Gifting me a ring before you venture off into danger.
Hopefully, I won't need the
Everyone
protection.
has their platinum rings on.
Boots of Valentine, Cloak of Elementkind, some crown of marking. Oh, we still have the scroll of mapping.
Whoa.
By using an action to read the scroll, you cause the arcane script on the page to bleed and seep into the page, then twist and manifest as an inked map of your surrounding area. The map shows the area in a 1 mile radius centered on a point where you read the scroll and indicates both structure and topography. By touching the map, a small light appears at your location to indicate where you are. Using a series of intuitive gestures while touching the page, you can cause the map to change its scale or display portions of the area. The scroll isn't destroyed when you read it, but it can't be used again to create a different map.
So we would forever have a Daenor Keep, Talonreach Keep.
You would forever
map.
have the Marauders map of that permanently inked location.
In addition, you can use an action to touch the map and ask where a familiar person or place is that you
we
can
gotta
name
use
or
this
clearly
here.
describe. If the person or place is somewhere that can be shown on the map, an X appears on it at the target's location. If there are multiple targets within the same name or description area, multiple marks appear. If the target is a creature that's in a different form, such as being under the effects of a polymorph spell, or can't be detected by divination or scrying sensors, the map doesn't display its location. If the target is moving, the X follows its movements. The marked target remains on the map for 10 minutes. Once this property of the map has been used, it can't be used again until 12 hours have passed.
Oh,
so we get one call
one.
out for a person for 10 minutes, Moira or Zavar. The other funny thing is, like, one thing we have to remember, the Arknight has said he won't intervene in a fight with us, but like he could be around and he could be a problem. Like he didn't promise like I'll let you walk past me to go murder my king. So it's just like important to remember we don't know what he'll do here. So it's going to be like
that he's big on Daenor loyalty. Is basically what I got is like I don't think he's opposed to opposing us. It's just he doesn't Daenor is underneath him at this point.
If he's around, though. If he's not around, I agree. He's not going to come in and help, but he might not want it to be known how little he cares about the king, you know?
If nothing else, maybe... I don't know.
So we're going to pop in and use the map, right?
Once we are sure that we're in Daenor, in the keep, and it would be worthwhile to use. I don't want to pop up a mile outside the city... and then accidentally use it right away, but
it might be worth it if we pop up. I'm just imagining we're popping up in the keep. Let's just pretend we are.
Yeah.
We might want to use a rope trick right when we get there to burrow a little hole and have a secret room we're operating out of where no one could chase us. Or like no one's gonna look in there without some kind of indication. So we could use the map in there and start scouting out from a like neutral location as opposed to like someone's office.
I'm also expecting Moira will be notified upon us using this. Not that that's necessarily how that spell always works, but it seems like you are coming back to the keep to let someone know something. So it's not, I would expect it to alert someone. So I don't know that we can just hang out forever after using it for the full hour for a trick or whatever.
Can we examine the writ?
Absolutely.
I'll start ritually casting Detect Magic. Well, no, we already know what's on it. But like, what I want to know, and Roulette, can you help me with this? So, what is it written in?
Yeah, if you undo the clasps on the end and unroll it. Give me a moment here.
An access writ. It is granting you access. Yeah.
As you open it, there's a sort of expectation for structure, a certain kind of prose or sentence structure, even in an arcane sequence that is bound to a teleportation scroll. You see that, so immediately it kind of flags your awareness as, okay, this is probably a teleportation scroll, but all the glyph work is done in Infernal. And it looks like there's a long paragraph of text before the arcane sequence.
A whole lot of instructions.
All right, read it. Read it.
Languages.
What'd you say, MJ?
I'll start ritually casting detect language again for this time to be able to read the info.
Okay. After that completes, still during this long rest, it says, whoever invokes this writ of expedited access to Daenor, esteemed capital city of Durast, does so only in accordance with the pre-established reasonings verbally agreed upon with the writ's original recipient. Material subject for consideration shall be presented upon arrival with thorough accounting of the ongoings leading to its discovery and a transparent divulgement of quantity. Should the findings warrant follow-up investigation, a portion of Daenor's ruby stores shall be awarded to the writ's owner in recompense, with a subsequent sum to be awarded upon additional discovery. No more than 8 additional parties, 9 total, may accompany whomever chooses to invoke the writ, so long as they maintain a distance no more than 10 feet from the writ on activation and press their finger to the bottom line of the parchment within a matter of seconds of its activation. And then there is a single line at the very bottom underneath the activation of magic.
So there's going to be someone there waiting to accept something. Like we found something good to report back here.
Well, I think it's more of to Pyrian's point. It's probably like someone's going to get notified, be like, hey, this Scholord's thing was activated and he's here. We should go check on him. Because they're not going to be waiting there 24/7.
Well, it could be like, here's our teleportation room where different errands are done and a couple of scribes work. Like, it might just, it could be anyone. I imagine we will have to, if we can go invisibly, that could be incredibly helpful. It could look like the thing activated and they don't know why. Could be an error. But if we go and are seen and then go invisible, we'd have to kill that person, kidnap that person, or knock that person out. And we can't just leave them.
We can't go invisible. They're not gonna think it just didn't work. We gotta go as the Skull Lord and like
Also,
walk our way through.
whoever activates the thing is likely casting a spell and would no longer be invisible.
Golem body is interesting.
I like the Skull Lord and the little retinue.
Seeming, yeah.
And you seem like you're ready to be abundant with extra magical reserves.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we cast it ahead of time. I take a short rest. That way I'm ready to go.
God, I always forget that that's a thing for you too.
That's a really good idea.
I do think I want to off-rip have Beacon of Hope on us. I am now able to recover 3rd level spell slots, so I feel good about doing that.
Alright, here's a question. What if we have the choice? What if we have the choice of trying to pursue Zavar or Moira first? Are we pursuing Zavar first because we're trying to kill Zavar? Or are we trying to kill Zavar and get into Moira's lab to fuck shit up?
Part of me
I think Moira is the scarier of the two,
I
to be
think
honest.
Moira will be a more prolonged endeavor. I think Zavar
Try end
might
of an
be a
interaction with
big
her.
brawl that we can maybe go do before she's able to show up. I don't know.
Who would you rather have surprise you in the middle of a fight? Moira or Zavar? I'd rather be facing Moira when Zavar shows up versus Moira teleporting in and casting a blood portal in the middle of us is what engaged with a king. Like, if we had the choice to deal with them separately, who would we try for first? Which can get to each other more easily. Can she teleport to Zavar's side?
Yeah, I think, not to downplay him, I think an encounter with Zavar would be less complex. I think it would be simpler. I think we are going to attack him. He has probably incredible means of defense, but we saw he needed something extra to do that counterspell, so I don't think he's magically inclined naturally. The Wyvern is scary. If Moira shows up, yes, that's scary, but she won't be in her lab, where I'm sure she has all sorts of defensive mechanisms set up.
That's a really good point.
Not
That
that
we
there
could
won't be
draw her
similar
out.
things at Zavar.
We could draw her out before we go there. All this is predicated on us being able to kill her or harm her so much she escapes this plane. Can we banish her in any way? If she's not mortal?
Yes.
Which I don't think she is.
Let me get an extra method to do that, but yes. They are always charisma based, which is not fortunate for. I'm expecting her to be good at charisma.
Well, Jirian, Roulette, this might be interesting to you. I mean, I tried to read her mind, and it was all infernal. I tried to read Rome's mind, and I can tell you reading Moira's mind was more similar to reading Rome's mind than one of you. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I would say so.
So I just want you to know any spell that targets a fiend or a devil might be efficacious on her.
Oh,
Yeah, let me see what dispel evil and good
Types might not be
says.
human, is what I'm saying. And so protection. I need to go back to looking for the protection from evil scrolls because
My banishment methods specifically target those type of creatures, but do not get a better chance of success against them. And they're all charisma on my 19 save DC, which I'm expecting to rise to 20 if my medallion awakens.
hi, Mary.
baby.
She says hi.
Hey, Crit. Who was the last person we bought spell scrolls from? Because I remember having that might have just been like the general reserve of what the Ithilwinge and the because
I think that's what it was. What was available in Athenian.
Oh, it was Athenian. Did they have scrolls of good and evil, like protection from good and evil? Was that even something they would have had? I know it's something I might have looked for, and I can't remember if they didn't have it and we didn't buy it or we passed it up.
It's not something the general populace would have had, but it could be something the Eclipse may have access to.
Got it. Okay. And I don't think we pursued that though.
I agree.
I think we wanted to and we didn't. Okay. The best I have to offer in spell scrolls is a spell scroll of blur, which I might use.
I think that's awesome for you to use.
If we have a second to prep. But then also that would be concentration. But then if I could duel, I could do a greater
is
visibility.
not concentration. It's just a potion. Right. So that's awesome.
And yeah. But also what I'm nervous about is them dispelling magic, just like the what's it called did.
But they have to see you to target you. As I refresh myself on that.
The other thing is
No.
we really gotta be
MK, it's because I think we've come across this before. Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range is all it says. So I don't know what the ruling would be on like an invisible person that just
I think you can absolutely target an invisibility person to dismantle their invisibility. It doesn't see that you can see.
I forgot.
You just have to intuitively be knowledgeable that it's there.
If there's a spellcaster around, we gotta take care of them first. Like even like those spell slingers on the horses, those counter spells really fuck up our roll. So and the king has one counter spell. So anyone who's gonna go nuclear with a big spell, one of us is gonna try to bait out that counter spell somehow.
Of reaction economy, whether they're still on the field or not.
Also, flag and communicate to the team if you are about to do like, hey, this is a 7th level spell.
And maybe the other people can go in with 4th or 5ths or 3rds or something to maybe bait out.
I will make sure I don't like use an opportunity attack leading up to that.
Yeah, me too.
I will have counter spell. And Telperion, what's that diamond on the front of your head?
It's just this headache I've been having all evening. Oh.
Did you have a vision?
A vision?
Capital V, Marvel.
I don't know what that is. Sweet. I'm liking these plans.
All right, question. Should I, for my new regular spell, should I take teleportation circle. Would we have any need for one of those, or can somebody else already cast that?
I think you're the only person who's ever going to be able to cast it.
You're gonna have access to that.
I had access to it. I don't know.
That's so cool.
I just haven't
didn't
taken
know
it.
Warlock's got that.
Mhm.
Yes, it's,
I don't think he
it
could
was
do that.
expanded from Tasha's. They have it now. It would be just nice in the future.
Is this a one-time choice, Tim?
No, I can change at level up if I wanted to. The only reason I haven't taken it is it doesn't like it's not a very Jiri spell. So the other option I was thinking about is Gather Speedy Courier, if we wanted to be able to like give people objects.
Those are both really good points of overall interest because we are about to get a tower or a building, and a teleportation thing is really interesting. MK's Word of Recall. What's the benefit of a teleportation? Like,
We can learn other people's circles elsewhere in the world and add them to his list to recall to,
make a network,
which is a better
That's really-
version of
yeah.
my word of recall. I have to
And
set
if
up my own.
we can make a permanent one too
can
if we
make
have a
permanent
year.
one.
that's true. Like, we can have that in a castle, and then MK also could set a Word of Recall somewhere else. That's
Exactly.
cool. So what's really interesting though is also I think that could be a total cool Jiri spell. Like watching your magic get that big is in like that's really cool. Not something he's done, but like I can imagine the flavor of that really neat. That's just really interesting. We lost Rome and she was going to be kind of a portal person. And so just a lot of possibilities open up with something like that. But also if there's something else that's
I
exciting to you.
also think it's more interesting if our transportation methods are very circumstantial and not just having the teleport spell, or transport via plants, which those feel much more open-ended than the way teleportation circle and Word of Recall are limited.
True.
Wait, is the spell you're thinking teleportation circle, Tim?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go look at this spell.
It's like 50 gold per use, and then there's a lot of rules about.
But it's not a simple teleport.
No, it is if you.
It goes to specified locations.
Yeah, if you can still just cast it. It doesn't. You don't need to have a like a.
You
You
have
don't need
to
to be in a
have
specific location.
you have to have a landing spot you're aware of. That's the limit. Is you can't just teleport to Ostanis because we've been there before. You have to know of a teleportation circle that exists in Ostanis for you to way shrine to.
Yes. Yeah.
But because of that permanence of the landing zone, there's no risk of mishap like there is.
See,
With,
okay. Because I remember teleport has like a table.
Yeah. And that's because you can teleport to places you haven't even ever been. But there's risks. Five minutes out from hard.
Really
out.
cool, Tim. What else were you thinking? The courier?
The courier, just because we've had a few instances where it'd be nice to be able to like send an item, but I don't know how overall useful that would be. And then that, or I guess the other option is like Sickening Radiance would be like a cool area of effect spell, but I feel like I have enough like concentration and damagey stuff that something like teleport might be a little bit more interesting.
I think in general that of all those things, the teleportation circle is going to be the most like in a pinch. Having that is going to solve different problems, whereas those other spells you mentioned aren't as solvable with those other spells. Like I think that spell has the way to feel really impactful and cool, and also like open up possibilities. But if any, like I said, that's just my view.
Yeah, I'll probably go with. I'm leaning towards teleportation circle anyway, so that's probably what I'll go with.
That'll make
Didn't know if there was
Luigi
any
Do we need
direct
to
application.
dump our
Right
gold
now.
somewhere so we have the portable hole with access?
Well, do you guys want to know how much gold you just walked away with?
A million.
In the final 3 minutes of the session? All right. Someone write this down. I'll put it in chat too, but actually I should just put it in chat. 2872 silver.
Not the lead up.
1914 gold.
No copper.
There's no copper.
Yeah.
They're too rich to worry about copper.
Does this include the ingots?
He's doing.
I'm doing that right now.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
Those are going to be the biggest chunk.
It's funny because I'm thinking back to like when we escaped the castle, the palace the first time, and we got the single gold ingot. I think it was worth like 2,000 gold, or whatever
Mhm.
it was.
Platinum
And now we
ingot,
have
I
like
think, but yeah.
yeah, platinum. And now we just have a dozen of those ingots that we just grabbed from this guy.
I've been broke for a while, so it's finally nice to have a good payday.
I want to make sure.
That's true. Also, we're gonna be in Durass. If we get out, maybe we can go buy some cool shit.
It's very wishful, very optimistic.
Actually, the best shopping is gonna be in Belladonia.
Probably.
Does anyone feel like this is?
That does feel like the grandest
Killing
city
me with
in
anticipation.
Aragon is Auroras. 22. 10 pound gold ingots.
That's 10,000. That's 11,000 gold.
There you go. Oh,
13,000.
So wait, how much is
Bro,
the gold
wait,
ingot?
Plus another
platinum.
10,000. Plus another 10,000.
So 23,000.
Dude, what?
Holy fuck.
that is the
think about
biggest
how happy.
cash by far you guys have ever interacted with.
Think we could have made Kartosh happy if we'd left it.
Oh, there's a +2 book in Kilodine.
Someone needs, yeah. Who wants the
Was it
dexterity
Dex?
plus
That's
2?
what it was.
Okay, Zavar can wait. Let's go shopping.
Yeah. 5,800 apiece.
I think it's more than that.
Well, also just keep in mind that the ingots are ingots and not easily spendable unless you exchange them at like a currency house. So that there's a little bit of a limit or minor challenge there. Otherwise, just keep the silver and gold stuff in mind separately, rather than just adding, the gold worth value to your inventories, just to keep things.
11.
Hopefully,
Oh, wait.
what will once we
The
see
rubies.
to you for everybody. Does anyone do the math?
Wait, hold on. I am. I forgot about the rubies.
Well,
That's only
Toby
extra
has
1,500.
I just don't do math, so this is kind of magical to me.
This isn't something I do.
Yeah,
And
I don't
it
think
is-
you can do that.
It is 3:00, so I know at least MK has a heart out, so we can conclude the session there. This is what you walked away with. Otherwise, yeah, we are the save now. There's no more saves point of the game.
Ooh.
The next run of sessions, whether that again is 2, 3, 8, 9, whatever that quantity is, will conclude Act 1. So this is your opportunity to, in theory, you're about to wake upon after a long rest at 8:00 in the morning, talk to the people you want to talk to, get quick errands done when you want to, and then if you interact with certain people, they will impress the urgency upon you to, hey, yeah, go now, fast. And we'll see how that takes us.
Okay.
The value.